station for your Tennessee to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Bye, buddy.
Yo, what up, Nashville 3HL on the air. Britt Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. Slay Dog, is it a beautiful day out there?
It most definitely is a beautiful day. What is going on in us, Smiley?
A lot of moving parts back here.
Well, to Smiley's, I'd start to say credit. That's not the right word. But, to his defense.
What's
like,
his defense?
What do you think the percentage of hosts on this station turn their own mics on? It's about 50-50, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about 50-50.
Right. So, they have to remember who does and doesn't and all this stuff. Because I turn mine on.
Yeah, I've never turned mine on.
I know, and Babs doesn't either.
Nope.
Babs is not here, and it's not because of anything that happened last night.
No, it's not.
Although I will say that she was talking a lot of smack, and she had her own bowling shoes, and she did not perform up to those kinds of expectations.
She didn't bring her ball. Remember, she said she had a ball. She didn't bring her ball.
She didn't bring her ball. Was that the problem?
I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Because, man, she was in the gutter.
Yes, she was, especially early.
She got it going later.
She's a second-half player.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I had a phenomenal time, man.
That was an absolute blast.
Dude, that was
Second annual Split Happens bowling event from Buck Rising, and all credit goes to Buck.
Yeah,
and the people behind the scenes that put that event together. Our guy Stephen Young, who called in to Blaine and Mickey today to kind of tell his story. HomeStreetHomeTN.org is the website. Find him on Instagram and sign up, man. If you're feeling the spirit within yourself to help, you can easily by giving $10 a month, $20 a month, whatever you can give. Those monthly stipends for them are so meaningful, especially this time of year, because Stephen Young and Home Street Home, they get our friends off the streets. Mm-hmm. They go into the homeless community, they build relationships, and they try, and they help, and they change lives. And he doesn't have any salaried employees, so your donations help them. So HomeStreetHomeTN.org, that's what the event was for last night. And it was crazy. When I got there and I saw, okay, we're doubled up on lanes.
Yeah, that was the wildest part.
And it was crowded. And so, my team and your team, we were all on the same lane. And then we had Darren Bates, former Titans linebacker, and his crew on the lane next to us. And they were doing all kinds of, social media stuff, too, and filming and things like that. And it was a blast. And it's funny because, you and Batesy got to talking, and y'all all always seem to bowl at the same time.
So it was. It kept on happening at the same time. Great time, though, man. Shout out to – there was a lot of listeners that came through. A lot of the Titans fans came through.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kerry, Holly. It was a dope event, man. Everybody slid through. Coach Mack was the ambassador of the event, though.
A lot of people came out and just hung out, too.
Yeah.
Weren't even bowling because the bowling event sold out.
Yeah.
But a lot of people came and just kind of watched the ridiculousness that was unfolding on lane 5. And where was Batesy in them? 6?
Lane 6, 5 and 6, yep.
He's a pretty good bowler. He doesn't put his fingers in the hole. He just
hold it and let it go.
Yeah, and he lets it rip and spins it, and pretty good bowler. But anyway, so couple questions out there. Number one, our first game where we were kind of warming up but playing. We were competing because we're all competitors.
Mm-hmm.
I got to tell you, man, new to the zone, Sammy let it rip.
Sammy won the first one, so did.
She's 5 foot nothing.
Yeah.
And she has this little leap.
With a backhand.
And then she she uncorks it backward. She spin almost like you hit a pitching wedge onto the green. You're trying to spin the ball back.
Yeah.
But man, it went straight. And she won the first game.
Yes, she did. I think she about 116. Yeah, she got down.
Which says something that 116 won, but
yeah,
out of 8 bowlers.
That was 114. I was ashamed of myself in that first round.
I think I was 112 or something.
Yeah,
but
it was- yeah.
I was leading through 7.
You had it.
Yeah, and then I fell apart. And then the second game where we were all competing, this is where the controversy happens. And then we'll get to Joe Hunk.
Sup?
The controversy was, my understanding of the competition was my team against your team, winner gets Coach Mack's money, whatever money he had. He just had this roll of money in his pocket.
Big old bankroll.
And we could do with it whatever we wanted.
Right.
Well, so we smashed y'all.
Y'all did.
I mean, smashed y'all.
Yes, I did.
And my guy Mark and my guy Aaron showed out.
They did. Came to play.
But then somehow you ended up with the money.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. Because the rules that was set was between us three, me, you, and Babs. That's what it was. That was the initial. Then we went on to play the second game, and because I don't think we was all in the same lane in that first one, and then
and then Bates and them left, so y'all moved over.
It took over their lane, which made us go a little faster. People get rhythm, so it was a little cooler. But yeah, man, y'all, like your team came to play. Your team came to play. I think
we won. Come on,
keep saying that. Y'all
we
did
won.
Win. Y'all did win.
Yes,
y'all did win.
Thank
y'all
you.
win. Y'all won by 34 pins, I think. That's smoking it, really. So yeah, but I did though 169. Just like to throw that out there too.
You did. You smoked it that in
But
the second game. You
at
did.
the same time,
you were rolling.
People that I think were.
By the way, your roll too is just what you said. Like you just set the ball down before you basically even get to the lane, and it just goes straight.
Letting it go. Yeah,
there ain't no throw to it.
No, it's gonna glide right down through. It hit a bump, is over. But straight line, it's gone.
Like riding a motorcycle.
Yeah, that's right. The two people that I didn't think and didn't expect to come through like they did, you already mentioned Sammy, and then Hunk. Hunk went in the lab.
All right, let's get into Hunk.
He got some coaching.
Hunk took it a little bit, and there is some video out there on Twitter about his first roll and Coach Mack giving him a pep talk, and it did not go well.
Now, the first one
he knocked one pin down.
Look, how this is. Look, you rolled. There are 10 frames. That's at least 20 throws if you don't bowl a strike. And those were the 2 rolls that were caught on video. How did that happen? I mean, it was.
Listen, man. Once you get the content you need, you just move on.
Over.
I mean, I guess
so.
so.
Yeah,
I mean, it
Hunk,
was.
we had an open bar. I had things to do.
Like, what we kept recording for? We got what we was looking
I did
for.
record Babs one time, and she guttered it, and she turned around, and she was like, I mean, basically, it was like, you are not putting that out there.
Delete that right now.
Exactly.
Delete that right now.
But Hunk, you did good.
Hunk did really well.
I wanted to see the curve come back out.
Yeah.
He changed his ball.
In the second game, Hunk. I mean, look. Mark said he hadn't bowled in 18 years. He's my boy, and he did phenomenally well in that second game. My guy Aaron started betting with you.
Yeah, he caught his groove with me.
Once dollar bills start flying around, he texted me this morning. He said he's going to buy cigars with your money.
So I'm gonna meet him. To help.
But Hunk, man, Hunk let it rip, dude. He did. He really did. He really did.
Hunk has a loud thud on his ball. It drops at about the middle of the lane and then does what it wants. But
You should have seen it last year.
I can only imagine.
Last year, I think I 2-hopped the pins. Ask Batesy. I was 2-hopping him.
You was on, Hunk. Yeah, that was great redemption right there by you. That was not what I was expecting. So
My guy Mark just texted and said we kicked their ass.
Well, I appreciate Slay. And Coach Mack let me in on that conversation you had with him about how you were trying to knock me off of my groove.
Yeah,
And that's when you started talking smack, saying you wanted to see the curve.
I wanted to see the curve back. Like, I want the entertainment of it. I don't want you to do good. Like, that's not entertainment.
If in all seriousness, if I wasn't trying to at least break what I was trying to break, then I was going to go, you know what? Fine, I'll do the curve on the last throw, but I needed those pins. And so I said, no, I can't throw this one. Like, I can't. I wanted to, and I just couldn't. So I never brought out the curve.
The people would have loved it.
Oh, I bet they would have when they got finished ducking, or I maybe knocked over some of their pins in their lane, but outside of that.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I think you would have had to deal with Batesy if you'd have let one fly into his lane.
Yeah, he would have straight just
Him and
speared
his
me
crew,
right
they
there.
were there to do a job, man. They were serious.
To get some work done.
Play started talking smack. They came right back at him.
Yeah, let's get it, baby. Hey, you know what though, man? The zone know how to party. We got to do some more of that. I'm gonna be real. Like all I remember the last part of it, and then we'll get into a little bit later in the show.
You only remember the last part.
Yeah, the last part, Coach Mack coming and taking my mic and cutting it off as I had my shirt up. And I was rubbing my Hitchcock, my stomach. That's my stomach for everybody.
Wait, that was
Which
a
is
true
not-
story? I thought he was kidding about turning your mic off.
No, he did. He said he was saving me and everybody else. And I think he saved me because I don't know where I was going with the mic.
I don't even remember that part.
The story was getting wilder and wilder. Like I just started giving shout outs to people, making people give people rounds of applause. And then I remember my last comment was, Buck, take your shirt off too.
And that was it.
Wait.
Then my mic got cut
Look,
off.
I left this party at 9:30 because I had the drive. What time did all this take
Oh,
place?
you missed it. Oh, yeah.
This is more like 10.
I'm about to
It
say,
got fuzzy after about 10, 15. Things got fuzzy.
I had pictures that were being sent to me at like 11:30, right when I pulled into the house.
Yeah.
So it was around that time.
Yeah.
Man.
I hugged Coach Mack 3 times before he left. I wouldn't let him leave. Every time he tried to leave, Coach Mack, come here, man.
I know.
Gave him another hug.
My phone died. I was like, there was all kinds of stuff
There was
going
a
on.
whole lot. It's a whole lot going on.
Hey, if there's a zone event at night and we all were involved,
If 3HL is down, the party is down. I'm going to just be honest, man.
And shout out to Sammy as well, not just for the bowling, because for whatever content she puts up on Twitter, and she is able to beep out all of the words that she needs to beep out on some of these videos.
I was very explicit.
and loud.
And very loud. Like, I can't not be loud, though.
You're walking on the couch, standing on the table.
Yeah, I was having a good time.
You want to watch the show, you can. YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Shout out to Shannon, man.
Twitch,
Shannon manages the King's
Dining and Entertainment.
Yeah,
Yep.
man. Much love to him. And RJ, the bartender, man. He took care of us, showed us a lot of love. So
RJ was the man.
yeah,
He kept it flowing, that's for sure.
most definitely.
Adam says meeting Coach Mack was awesome. That dude is a trip. Meeting Adam was awesome. Adam and his crew did a great job.
Yeah.
They were awesome. Bayou_Bob. How about y'all give Hunk his credit? Heard he came out in the clutch. We did.
He did.
We did.
Thank you.
He did, and we did, all at the same time. We
Yep.
gave him his credit.
Karen, Mama Bab's not there. This is trouble.
Mama Bab's getting ready for an event, man. She got an event planned for tomorrow.
Before I left last night, I gave her a big hug and I said, "God, I hate you for taking tomorrow off."
That was smart.
Well, she was so much fun too.
Oh man, that's the Babs I see.
She let it rip last night.
That's the Babs I always want to see on the road that we never get to see. It's always just me and you. She always going back to the hotel to go to sleep. And it's just me and Yoel out there looking at each other like fools, doing foolish stuff. But Babs
Walking
is
around
turned.
downtown New York,
Gotta pee,
taking pictures.
trying to cross over boundaries.
It's like a romantic comedy. Adam says 3HL is the party. He said, I'm not sure if I down more pins or beers.
Hey, shout out to that.
Eric says, did you guys make the wall with your antics? No.
No.
Shannon needs to get that done.
Yeah, man. It should be the picture, the group picture we took last night with all of us, of Steven and
Right.
all them. Yep.
So at 1045 The Zone on Twitter, if you want to see that picture, I would retweet it, but I can't. Hunk, what is going on
why you
with
can't
my Twitter
retweet.
account? I cannot retweet or tweet from 3HL or at Brent Doherty.
It's the same thing for me. I tried doing it earlier
can't do it
today.
either?
It wouldn't let me do it on any of my accounts
I
either.
did. I think.
Huh.
You and Savage having the most problems with Twitter. Savage can't even get in Twitter no more.
What
That's
is
it.
going
We're
on
going
with
to
Twitter?
Threads.
Okay.
That's it. We're going to Threads.
What is Threads, Hunk?
Threads is Facebook/Meta's version of Twitter.
Facebook/Meta event. Okay. I'm finna find us on here, so I'm gonna retweet it up again. It's not on 1045 The Zone.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it's way down there.
It says you just had to be there. There's a picture of you bowling,
Hey, there it is. Shout out to the crew. No, that's not it.
and at that point you had your basketball jersey still on because
Yeah.
that later came off, and then the undershirt later came off also.
Yeah, that's when it was time.
There's Babs celebrating something.
Where is this picture?
She's fist pumping and everything.
Two ballers.
And then the picture of who is in this picture. Let's look at this. Lucas Hunk.
That's the one I'm looking for.
Kirby. Bert is in some kind of squat position like a sumo wrestler. Buck. Slay. Steven and his wife. Sammy. Dawn. She says I say her name wrong. Do you think I say her name wrong?
Babs?
Dawn.
No, it's Dawn, ain't it?
She says I say it like
Dawn.
she's Dawn, like D-O-N, like a dude.
Dawn.
Don.
Hey, that's the
She's in there.
picture right there.
Coach Mack, me, and there you go.
That's the picture. That's dope. I got it. I just screenshotted it.
If we had to do, like, if this was a 2-night event, could you do it all again tonight?
Oh, yeah. Aleve and Pepsida's. No, what is it? Pepsid? Whatever. I forgot the name.
Pepsid. You talking about
Heartburn stuff.
Yeah, Pepsid.
Yeah. I'll be ready. I'm ready to roll. I'm ready to roll right now.
There's no way.
I'm cranking up. Let's go.
There is no way.
Let's go. I ain't got 3 nights. I got 2. But I got to save it for tomorrow because then it'll be a 3rd night. I got to be.
You got something going tomorrow.
Yeah.
Split happens. So anyway, yeah, at 1045 The Zone on Twitter. I'm sure on the Insta as well.
How did Kirby do? Because Kirby was talking a lot of trash too.
Kirby was like rolling down with
He was at towards the
listeners and
end.
stuff.
Yeah, he was towards the end.
He was over there by himself.
I think they had a hell of a score though, as a team.
Kirby said that he got a 175, but he did not actually bowl all 10 frames. I don't know how
That
many.
is so
Sandy
Kirby
actually
right there.
bowled.
That's all that
He
is.
came
That
over
ain't
and he
no
goes,
Kirby.
what's the highest score over here? I was like, oh, well, Sammy's got this. And this goes, oh, good, I got 175. I've got bragging rights. And I went, wow, 175. He goes, I didn't bowl all of that, but it was 175.
So his whole team accounted for 175 pins?
Exactly. Like, what? What? Come on, Kirby.
All right. We've got a lot going on. If you want in, 615-737-1045. We're wide open today. It is the Friday edition, Trash Talk Friday, if you want in on that. SEC Media Days begins on Monday, so college football talk begins. We've already kind of gone down that path. Also, training camp coming up. A lot of teams start on Tuesday, as a matter of fact, so we'll get rolling with that as well. It is also Friday.
Yeah. I'll be like this all day long, everybody. I hope I don't burn out.
I'm not going to let you.
Okay, cool.
3HL is presented by Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, springhillac.com. The F&M Bank Chat is up and running. You can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Huh?
Twitch, please.
Thank you, Jackson. All right, phone calls next, and we'll get into this Tennessee story. They finally get their infractions from the NCAA. 615-737-1045.
What's happening, good people? Ron Slay here. Yes, let's get our betting taken care of for the weekend, and let's look ahead to a couple of things. But first and foremost, what we have to do, we got to go download the Sportsbook app. Yeah, it's Superbook. Know that it is only one. Superbook, sports app that's going to get you paid. Why wouldn't you want the best company in the business to be the one who handles your bets? I don't know why you wouldn't. Makes sense to me. Matter of fact, I roll with them, and I'm going to keep rolling with them. That's where the parlay lands, and that's where it will stay. Help your bet stay hot this summer at Superbook Sports, the most trusted name in sports gambling with a direct line to Vegas. Now, you got to listen to this. When you use the promo code THEZONE or SLAY, you score up to $250 with the first bet bonus. Win or lose. Now, that's almost a guarantee. Forget that. That is a guarantee. Superbook will match your first bet up to $250 when you use the promo code THEZONE or SLAY. Either one of them. You get it. Visit Superbook.com for terms and conditions. Gambling problem, call 1-800-8899-789. Book it.
3HL 104.5, The Zone. Brent Doherty, Ron Slay with you. Dawn Davenport has the day off. She will return on Monday as we will be broadcasting live from SEC Media Day.
Yeah, it's time.
It is time. Did we go through Ron Slay's intro?
I'm in the building.
Starting no roof protocol.
Smiley producing today.
Engaging no roof protocol.
Smiley was at the bowling event
This
last
show
night.
ain't got no roof.
Well, it had no
In
roof last
T-minus
night.
3, 2, 1. Welcome Ronald Sylvester Slay.
I mean, the party already had energy last night, and then you came walking in.
Oh, it's time to go up. We came off.
Ratcheted.
Listen, man, it will never be a mistake when 3HL is in the building. You will know. I'm just going to say that.
You mentioned Shannon from King's Dining and Entertainment. He came back from vacation. His family's still on vacation because
he sure did.
he knew it was going to be a live thing.
And I honestly can say it lived up to it. It lived up to it, man. It's okay.
Adam on YouTube heard the Kirby giraffe story. What a story. I've heard lots of stories from Kirby. I've not heard that story.
I've never even thought about hearing this. The giraffe story.
And I will say this. Sammy just sent us a picture of Kirby's score sheet. What did he say he bowled? 175 and didn't finish?
Yeah.
Lucas had 54. Kirby had a 36. Bert had a 68, and Jennifer had a 38. I was right. I think it adds up to 170.
In what frame? No, that was like the seventh frame, too, wasn't it?
No, this is eighth frame. Kirby joins us now and is locked in. Jackson, you got him pulled up, or do I need to? There he is. Hey, Kirby, what's up, man? How are you?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Curbster.
Hey, how fun was that event last night on the front end of everything?
Dude, that was so much fun. When we were bowling such crap down there, but they left our names up in there, and so like the group that bowled after like us, the guy kept the name Kirby, and so he bowled like a 175, and so I said, at least I got to see 175 on my name.
How are you that bad at bowling, Kirby? You're such a
I'm not.
I mean, you're like MacGyver. You can do anything. Like
Exactly.
Kirby one time cut his finger setting up a George Plaster remote, couldn't leave to go get it stitched because he had to finish doing what he was doing. So he sewed it up himself.
Stitched himself.
Kirby can do anything except bowl.
No, actually, I believe it or not, I can bowl. But
All right,
last
Kirby.
night
There are two things you can't fib about because it becomes very clear very quickly. Golf and bowling. You can't lie about those things.
That's not true. I've got score sheets that I've kept in the past. My daughter and I go on her birthday. We go to the Donaldson Bowl. The Hermitage Bowl. Donaldson Bowl just closed. But last night was just it was a comedy of errors.
Well, there was a lot going on, let me just say.
It was so much fun that you weren't paying attention at all. You're bowling with whatever ball comes up. I mean, I was trying to take it serious. After about the third frame, I quit.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
the score sheet fully indicates that. Let me just.
It was terrible.
Let me see what Sammy gave us. All right, here is Kirby's frame by frame. Kirby in the first frame, gutter ball, then a 1. Then a gutter ball and a gutter ball. Then a 7 and a 1 and a gutter ball. Then a 3 to get him to 11 and a gutter ball. Then a gutter ball, and then a 9 out of nowhere gets him to 20.
Boosting him up.
In the fifth frame, then a 5 and a 3 gets him to 28. Gutter ball, then an 8 gets him to 36, and then that was it.
Well, here's the thing. This is the weird thing. Like where you guys were at, I think that was lanes 5 and 6. So they told us to go to 6. So we go to 6, and I bowled like 3 frames just to get loose, like everybody else was. And I had like a 9, just missed the spare, a 7, and picked up the spare, and then I think I got like 7 or again and missed, maybe got a pin or 2. But then they come up at the last second and they go, hey, we got to move you guys, and didn't really know where to put us, so they shoved us down there on 10, and it was not working at all from down there. I mean, literally, it was like I just kept staring down the lane going, why the hell aren't pins falling down? I was just like, I couldn't get the damn ball to the pins. It was weird. I took the same ball that I had from lane 6 down to 10, But I left whatever knowledge or game I was planning on having that night at lane 6. But I did watch you guys, and Slay was killing me. Because he's so doggone monstrously large, and he's up there with this ball that looks like he's got like one of those little kids' balls you play like water polo with in his hand. And I think he covers that lane in about a stride and a half, and he gently just lets it go, and it doesn't look like it's overpowering, and then things explode on the other end. And it was just like, it was a blast watching. And he's turning around taking money from people left and right. They're betting
and giving money. My friend Aaron says, I want to smoke cigars with Slay with his money.
I guess. It was a lot of energy down there. Don was funny.
Yeah. So Jen, who was on your team, writes on YouTube, hey, he beat me. That's not saying much. And then she said, we had so much fun, we didn't care about bowling, she said.
Oh, it was like that we bonded with the guy directly across from us, and I guess whatever that was, 9, I guess. He was from Ohio. He's a big Pete Rose fan, had this shirt with Pete Rose on it. We were constantly talking at the fan where you would dry your hand there at the back of the ball return to just about what an injustice it was that Pete wasn't put in the Hall of Fame with all of the other people with their nefarious past and or histories and so forth, and it was a great night.
Adam says last night was one of the most fun nights I've had in a long time. You boys can party. That's true. All right, so guys in the chat are talking about some giraffe story you told them. What possibly could happen? With Kirby and a giraffe.
I'm sorry that Don's not here today, but here's what happened. And I've shared this story for long-time listeners. If you've heard it before, forgive me, but I'm being private into this. But when my kids were little, when the Nashville Zoo was out at Ashland City, I guess it's 2 or 3 years.
That was a thing. That was a thing.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had promised to take the girls to the zoo, and it ended up being me and Laura and a friend of mine's wife and her 2 kids and our 3. So we're out at the zoo. We're at the giraffe thing, and back then they had like this big tall platform so that you were standing basically eye level, where children were eye level with giraffes, and they had these little dispensers where they would give food, and giraffes would come up and mooch food, much like the fish at the marina down there and stuff like that when we were down in Winchester. So anyway, I'm standing on the other side. We've just got them great big Slurpees. They're drinking these things, and the 6-year-old has got a cup about the size of her, and she's oblivious to everything going along around her because she's watching something off in the other distance. When a giraffe walks up and is like sniffing behind her and stuff, and comes up over her left shoulder and reaches over with its tongue and removes one of these gigantic plastic straws. It's about 2 feet long, for that cup, and it's like a brightly green colored. Anyway, grabs it with its tongue and eats it. And I'm witnessing this in slow motion in my head, and I'm going, oh, my God. So I'm trying to get somebody's attention. And you got a few people walking around with khakis and radios, and no one seems to be interested or even paying attention.
Khakis and radios.
So the giraffe jogs way back out into this paddock area of theirs, and someone comes up and says, what's wrong? Well, now people are starting to pay attention because I'm in a slight panic, because in my mind I'm seeing headlines of the Tennessean saying that, local radio host daughter kills giraffe at the Nashville Zoo.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate.
Because it's choking. It's out there hacking and coughing and choking. And so it comes back around, and we're trying to get somebody's attention. And anyway, so it comes back over to the very railing, and it's gagging on this stuff and making this noise. And I'm standing there, and every time it opens its mouth to do that, I can see the straw down in the corner of its throat. And I'm thinking, okay, I think I can get that. And so I get there, and it's kind of a timing thing where it'll shake its head, and it's coughing, doing this thing and opening its mouth when it does that. So about this, I'm timing it like you would jumping rope, man. So like about the time it opens its mouth, I just take a shot with my right hand, and I literally go almost to my elbow into the back of this thing's throat, but I got a hold of that straw. And when I did,
you stuck your entire arm into a giraffe's mouth, and nobody said anything?
Mouth. Well, like the front of their mouth's like a horse, right? So they got that long jaw. So it's It's a ways back in. This was a full-grown adult. So, yes, I go all the way back to the back, would have been its left corner of its throat, and I grab this straw. And when I do, I just get a hold of it. I'm thinking, I've got it. And it does the work. It just pulls away from me. And when it does, it extracts my arm and that straw. And I mean, I've got giraffe spit all the way up my arm. I get immediate standing ovation from all the moms and the kids standing around there. And about the time I'm sitting there kind of embarrassed, a woman pops up with the radio and goes, "Yes, what's the emergency? What happens?" And I explain it to her and explain what I did. And she looks at me and she goes, "Well, that's exactly what we would have done." I'm like, "Okay." I was faint. I'm like, so I get myself all cleaned up. She goes, "Well, here, have a couple of rides to the elephant thing." I'm like, "Okay, thank you very much."
To the elephant thing.
You might want to get people to pay attention to what's going on in the animals.
Hey, man. Not many people listening have ever saved the life of a giraffe after almost killing the same giraffe.
Oh, well, it was the daughter that would have been the cause of the bump off. But I guess as a child, I would have had to take
this was
some
a family thing.
responsibility for that. It's like,
But
I was standing 12 feet away from her when it happened. But
look, giraffes are mean, dude. Like he could have easily chomped down on your hand when it was in there.
Well, I believe it was a female because there was a young female or another giraffe kind of bouncing around with it.
Even meaner.
Trying to keep up. But, I mean, I came up there looking for help, and they were coming up there, they weren't really aggressive because they were coming up there and used to being fed by tourists and visitors at the zoo, I'm sure. But, yeah.
Kirby, the animal detective.
It was like one of those things where you really didn't have time to think about anything. You just went for it. Now, it becomes, it becomes funny afterwards when you're like, stop and think about, dude, I just stuck my arm down a giraffe's throat. But,
what?
Just another odd chapter in the many.
Kirby. Story time with
Kirby. I mean, that's a thing that's happened for a long time on this radio station. You've lived a life, bro.
It's been weird. I mean, just the fact that I'm talking to you on a radio station that I work for when all I did was win $100, and walk in to get $100 and I walks out there overnight guy. I mean, it was that was 30 years ago almost.
Walked in to get $100 and walked out with a job.
Yeah. Y107, was it Y107 at that point?
I think it was flipping. It was about to flip. It was flipping into the river.
107.5 the river, yes.
Yeah, it was leaving Y107 and becoming a river, and I wasn't listening to the station. I never listened to it. My daughters did, and I picked up a couple of game tokens for a contest they had, and she came running at me on Monday and screaming that I had won money. So I called the station. I said, "I supposedly won some money." And the guy said, "What are you talking about?" And I read said, "Give us your numbers. Give us your numbers." And I read the numbers. And he goes, "Yeah, hold on." And it was Blair. And I won $100. And I went down there to pick it up and met Charlie Quinn. And when I left, I had a job.
Wow.
That's amazing. Yeah, Kirby used to do – were you doing overnights or just late? I can't even remember.
I did overnights for for like 2 years.
Yeah, and right before I got into radio, me and my crew would be rolling around town. We'd just call Kirby and start requesting stuff. And I think I actually had started working there, and I kind of knew you a little bit, and that's why I did that.
I know what when we bought or the two companies merged and it took had the 315 and all those over there, which is now the 10 building. I
was at 1510 WLAC.
So remember my office where I did my paperwork and all that stuff when I was doing those production work was about where Allison's conference table was, and you guys, there was a wall there, and you and Bill and Bob were in that corner.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Bob one day, and you go, "Are you Kirby?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you told me who you were." And it was that was a long doggone time ago.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 27 years in radio, so that was 27 years ago that we've been friends. And and I'd never heard the giraffe story.
One night. I remember you kept you telling me the story about you calling, and I remembered that because I questioned why would you be calling a chick station.
Well,
and you go, and your Jack Gazer was riding around with a car full of girls, man. And I'm like, "Don, what do you want to hear?"
Yeah, I figured that might impress somebody. I don't know. Watch this. Because guys always say that. Watch this. Yeah. And then you do it. Curb, hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Great time last night. Very thankful that you were able to help out.
No, it was a blast to be there, and it's always fun to do stuff with everybody at the station. I've got another big one coming up here soon.
What big one?
Something about a birthday party.
Oh.
Well, my birthday's not coming up, so. Did he hang up?
Did you just cut him off, Smiley? Look at you.
Did he?
Yeah. What birthday are you talking about? We're confused.
The station.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about like Travis's birthday. Dawn's husband.
That's what I thought it was.
Anyway, all right. Thanks, Kirby. See you, buddy.
See you guys. All right.
There he is, Kirby. He got kicked off of Twitter. Speaking of Twitter,
Yeah,
he got eliminated from Twitter.
made a threat.
He did. It was about Oreos or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get into this Tennessee story when we come back. More than 200 infractions in the Jeremy Pruitt fiasco. That's next. If you want in, 615-737-1045. Tommy will lead us off. We have room for you. Jump in, 3HL 1045 The Zone. Gupton, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, that's where you need to go to get that next new vehicle. If you are thinking about doing that in the market for it, maybe you're looking dealership to dealership, certainly include my friends at Gupton. And this weekend's a great time for you to go get that done. 3450 Tom Austin Highway in beautiful Springfield, Tennessee. That's where you're going to find the best vehicle buying experience that you've ever had. 24 west to exit 35 is about 9 miles outside the city. Then a beautiful drive into Springfield, Tennessee. Again, best vehicle buying experience that you will have ever had. Daniel Gupton and his crew ready to help you out. No pressure at all from them. Simply go in, have that conversation about what you need, what you're looking for, and they'll be able to help you out. You'll take your test drive. You'll go inside. They will help make the numbers work, and it'll be that easy. Check them out online right now. GuptonMotors.com is the website. All the dealership information is there. All of the inventory is there as well. If you're looking for a Jeep, man, the Jeep selection is great. One of the biggest and best Jeep dealers in the entire country at Gupton, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram. But they'll be able to help you out with anything you need, new or pre-owned car, truck, SUV, or Jeep. GuptonMotors.com, 3450 Tom Austin Highway in beautiful Springfield, Tennessee, just 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. That's Gupton, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram. 3HL 1045, the Zone. Britt Doherty, Ron Slay with you. Don Davenport back on Monday.
On Monday.
Summer Golf Classic is coming up.
Oh.
We were trying to figure out what Kirby was talking about. He's talking about the radio station's birthday.
Yeah, how old would the radio station be?
I don't know.
25 this year.
25?
Oh, look at you, Smiley.
So you came 2 years in.
I was here 07.
Oh.
I was here 07. Mickey and I started overtime in 07. So what is that?
18? Nope.
17.
Why do I keep putting
16,
17?
17.
Yeah.
Of the 25.
16, yep.
Join 1045 The Zone for our 2023 Summer Golf Classic on Monday, August 7th at Old Natchez Country Club. Spend the day teeing off on one of Middle Tennessee's most prestigious private courses. Old Natchez Country Club teams are now limited. Purchase now at 1045thezone.com. Again, this is going to be a Slay and Mayor event.
Yes, it will be. Yes, it will be. They ought to start tightening this, man. You know what would really be wild? If we took off that day, which I don't advise, because, boy, you talking about a fool on the golf course? That would be us.
Oh, Jackson says it's 20 years for the Zone.
Smiley, how'd you get to 25?
I've been here for most of it.
Titans' 25th anniversary of them coming to Tennessee, 20th for the Zone.
Okay. But that's cool. But we're going to have a ball at Old Natchez Country Club. A really good time. We always have a good time at the golf course, especially when the listeners are there. So I hope y'all hurry and go get y'all team so we can talk trash to y'all, shotgun a couple, and just keep it rolling. It's going to be fun.
It will be fun. 615-737-1045. 3HL is presented by Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, springhillac.com. Tennessee finally gets its infraction slate off from the Jeremy Pruitt situation. Brett Hubbs from on3.com, VolQuest, telling Ramon, Kayla, and Will a couple of weeks ago that this would come down later in the month, and he was right. Came down, Tennessee found out late last night, according to Josh Heupel. And we've got some reaction from him. He was on the Paul Feinbaum show, offering up some of what he thinks about it. But anyway, $8 million in fines. I talked to Chris Lowe earlier today, and he's going to join us at 5:20 from ESPN.com, who wrote the story with Pete Thamel on the Tennessee thing. He said it's probably going to be almost $9 million in fines, which they believe is an NCAA infraction record.
Wow.
In terms of fine.
That's how you set the ball. Good job, Pruitt. You talking about sinking the ship. You sink it, baby.
Boy, I mean,
Aaron Rodgers.
He Titanic that thing. Well, I mean, he just drove right into the iceberg.
Yes, he did.
Him and his wife. I mean, no bowl ban, though.
No bowl ban.
So the NCAA said basically the $8 million is what Tennessee would have made in 2 bowl games. So they basically fined them, allowed them to play the bowl game. Because that makes sense, right? Like, you don't want to punish the people that are now there that weren't there before.
Right. I've never understood that part. And how much of that do they take into account? You can't let them off scotch-free, but once you get 3 years into it, it's like, all right, y'all, hey, man, let's make a decision, man, so you can stop punishing the people that will come, the people that are there, and making people leave, in a sense, like, that have invested in that school. So, yeah, man, get it right. Thank you.
Jeremy Pruitt received a 6-year show cause. Now, as a part of this show cause, if someone hires him, he will be suspended for the first year that he's there. So there are questions like from people like, does that mean he's done? Does somebody like hire him as an analyst? Like, how does that work? Do they impose more sanctions because you as a university would have to go in front of the NCAA and justify hiring him, basically. And then he would be suspended for a year. He wouldn't have recruiting privileges. Like, so why would anyone hire him?
That would be silly.
So he did spend time, like he spent 1 season on the New York Giants staff in 2021, but he hasn't coached since.
Yeah.
More than 200 infractions in this case. Tennessee placed on 5 years probation, a loss of 28 scholarships, which they've already done, I think, more than half of that.
Yeah, they did it themselves.
Yeah. And then they have to vacate wins in which any of the 16 players participated. And so that hasn't been – I mean, do vacated wins matter? Like, vacating wins, do they matter? I mean, they go in the record books as losses.
You can take the banners down and everything, but I look at it like this, man. Louisville won the national championship. You take that banner down, I'm still saying they're not giving their rings back. Like, we saw Louisville. You can't go redo the games 3 years later. Like, if that's the case, show it. Make us go replay the game.
If you Google like the Tennessee-Alabama series, there was a year where Alabama was on probation and had to vacate a win to Tennessee. But even as a Tennessee guy, I'm like, Tennessee didn't win that game.
Exactly.
Get that out of here.
Yeah, we ain't taking it. The runner-up to whoever Louisville was, they're not saying, we won the national championship.
Yay, hoorah.
Yeah, like, get out. You lost.
Hooray for me.
Hoorah.
Who was the net? I was actually at that game. I went to that Final Four.
Is that the game Kevin Ware broke his leg?
Yes.
Yeah. I was at the semifinal leading into that game. Whichever one it was, I remember that though.
But it was that Final Four. And there's
yeah.
an unbelievable picture of friend of show Tracy Wolfson in the background because she's looking right at it, holding a microphone. And you can Google it. And her facial expression is unreal.
Is that the most gruesome injury you've seen?
Yes. Now, I was sitting in literally the last row of the Georgia Dome.
Yeah. Still though.
But you could tell it was awful immediately because of the way people reacted on the floor.
Yep.
And then how hurried everyone was.
Oh, that's tough. That one, Paul George is also, when he broke his leg at the USA trials. That's Willis McGahee was one that I remember.
Napoleon Kaufman, who we've talked with
saw that one.
Army Navy.
Yeah.
He almost died on the field.
Yeah.
Where he had a compound fracture.
Yeah.
And like his heart rate and blood pressure went,
Yeah. Of course, DeMar Hamlin's, but that wasn't a break.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But
let's get Tommy in Nashville in here real quick before the break, and then we can definitely take your phone call today any direction you want to go. 615-737-1045. Tommy, what's up?
Long-time Wildfoot fan from Northwest Tennessee most of my life. And Brent, is there still a lawsuit regarding Jeremy Pruitt and Tennessee on top of these
You know what?
violations?
That is a great question. I'm going to write that down next to Chris Lowe's name on my sheet to ask him about that because we haven't heard anything about that lawsuit anymore. Remember, he was like, he put pressure on Tennessee about it, and then Tennessee didn't respond to it, and then I just never heard anything about it. So that's a great question, Tommy.
Yeah, I think I don't want to speak out of turn, but I want to say we had heard that he pulled back on that and dropped it. But I can't. One person that we know is gonna know, C-Law. He'll be on with us.
Definitely that. So yeah, stay tuned at 5:20. We'll ask him about this whole thing. But definitely just wrote down that question to ask him. So thank you, Tommy, for doing our job. We appreciate that. 615-737-1045 at 3HL1045 on Twitter. You can watch the show YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Hey.
Twitch, please.
Yep, thank you. And we've got more. 3HL presented by Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, springhillac.com. We all know someone who thinks they have the best life hacks, things like opening a can with a spoon or using your wireless hotspot for your internet at home. But what those hotspotters don't know is that there's a much better hack out there. See, Xfinity gives you 99.9% reliable internet, so you don't have to settle for using your phone for home internet. It means more gaming, streaming, looking up other life hacks on your connected devices. It's time for real home internet, the next generation Xfinity 10G network. The future starts now. Now through July 21st, new customers can get 75 megabit internet and one line of unlimited mobile together for just $50 a month for 12 months with no annual contract. Only from Xfinity, home of the 10G network. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees are extra. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet. After the promotion, regular rates apply to internet service. Actual speeds vary.
Good afternoon from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Joe Hogg. The NCAA Division I Committee on Infractions have announced the penalties for the Tennessee Volunteers. $8 million fine, 5-year probation, reduction of 28 scholarships over the terms of that probation, reduction of 36 official visits, reduction of 40 weeks of unofficial visits per the probation, a ban on recruiting communications, as well as reduction on evaluation days by 120 over the terms of the probation. And you will not be able to see any Tennessee Volunteer commercials during any postseason games that the Vols play in. But no season ban for them going to bowl games or the college football playoffs. And Jeremy Pruitt can't coach for the next 6 years because apparently some people would want him. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, as well as home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone. What up, people?
What's happening?
That was like 5 seconds.
Smiley.
What's happening?
Doesn't have the same ring to it.
Yeah, like
I
that
mean,
don't
you
even
just
sound right
kind of
now.
lost it right there.
Come on, Smiley.
So for those that don't know, Slay's mic was off. You probably heard him, though, because you were loud. So you probably heard you through my mic.
True. That's true.
Babsy not here today. I will say this. I talked to should be back on Monday. I talked with one of the bowlers last night, one of the zone crew
One of the bowlers
out there, and he was standing off to the side. And I was like, "What's up, man?" And we just started talking. He's like, "Man, I pulled my hamstring bowling."
So did. That was the second person. It was two people that did it. It was two people.
I said, "Man," he goes, "I was talking all this trash about I was going to bowl a 225, and I get out there and I just pulled my hamstring." And he goes, "I turned around, I started walking back, trying to act like nothing was wrong, but I couldn't like stride out, you know, like."
It was hurting them. It was hurting them. See, y'all gotta, hey man, y'all gotta be accountable for yourselves. See, I went to the car, popped me 2 leaves before start, and I stretched. Didn't nobody see me stretch.
I
I
gotta get me
stretched.
some Aleve, man.
Man, you gotta keep that on deck, y'all. You gotta keep that on deck, man. That's a lifesaver. I'm telling you. That boy, hey, you wake up the next day ready to roll. I'm ready to roll.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm ready to go back home and get in my bed.
Not ready to roll. Who did you? Okay, go
but that was funny, and I actually yelled at you to hear that story. Like, listen, my man over here, he's like, man, I'm gonna go home. My wife is gonna give me so much crap.
She's like, probably, I told you not to go out there with that foolishness. We went out there.
So then, like, so Dawn had been talking a lot of smack too.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I keep calling her Dawn?
I don't know what that's about.
Babsy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Babsy was talking a lot of
I don't
smack.
know what you're talking about.
And so she gets out there and gutter ball, like a 2.
Gutter ball,
and then she turns around. I look over at her husband, Travis, and he's like pointing like 2 fingers on his arm. And he goes, time to go to the bullpen. Get the lefty. And he was holding her daughter at the same time. He's like, get her out of there. I'm like, those two together are so funny.
I love it.
Here's the other thing. Last night's bowling event should have been on Zone TV. Why was it not?
It should have. I didn't even think about that. We should have been live streaming it.
That should have been on something. Is Hunk in there or is he doing stuff? Smiley?
Doing stuff.
Okay.
What I doing my charger? Left it in the green room.
Okay.
Just had to buy a new charger because I left it.
There's Hunk.
There's Joe. That's crazy. I can't. Why would I misplace my charger again after having to go buy one? I'm gonna tell you a place you don't never want to walk into, people. Phone store. But it's like going into a candy shop. There's so much stuff
you walk
want.
out like I didn't go in for an iPad. I'm going to walk out with an iPad.
I'll force myself.
Like there goes $1,200 right there.
Out of here. I almost bought a new phone.
I won't go in there.
So there's a reason why this thing was not on Zone TV last night.
Why?
And he's sitting right there in the Toon Squad shirt.
I was live.
Okay.
Why? It doesn't matter. It's not on the radio.
Because
FCC don't worry about YouTube.
all I needed was somebody to watch Zone TV and slay, which every other word out of his mouth was a cuss word last night.
Not that much cuss. No.
Okay,
listen. Slay does not curse that much. He doesn't. Like Babsy curses way more than Slay does.
It was like a progression. The first hour
Should have been
it was
here,
like
Babsy.
once every 5 words, and then the second hour is like once every 4 words, and then it just kept getting worse and
That was
worse.
somebody else, I'm telling you.
Oh,
dog.
really,
I'm
Mister?
telling you.
I'm going to do a dance because I just tried to do this.
That was just that one. That's because I was feeling it right then. I finally got over the hump, dude. I was rolling 9.
So that's the reason why it wasn't on Zone TV, because all I needed was to get fired when RPD is off. That's all I needed. On his day off, I get fired. I don't need that. That's why you're not on Zone TV.
There's no way. It's like everybody would have found it in fun. Like I know. It was one time I went on a rant, and that was when somebody put the camera on me, and I know it was a strike. I know it, and I had to explain what it was, and that was some bull poop. Bullshiano.
Bull poop.
Again, Sammy, she's going to be putting up videos for like the rest of the weekend. I applaud her for how much she's having to beep out things that Ron Slay has been saying on these videos.
Listen, I told Sammy this too. She's new to the team, and she's going to be doing a lot of digital things and things like that behind the scenes, and then on the scene too. Mm-hmm. Y'all will know her. But anyway, she that is a smart person, and it's funny because like. When you see somebody at work and you work with people and it takes a minute to kind of get to know who they are as a person, so to speak, because you're all like busy with work stuff. But like when you go to an event in like a social setting and you see how they interact with people, I'm like, I told her, like, you belong on this team.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I said, I've been 27 years of radio. This is the closest knit group I've ever been involved in. I'm talking about producers, promotions people, sales people, on-air people, all of it.
And we was missing 2 shows last night.
Yeah, and I said, and we're all like pulling for each other. We're pulling in the same direction. We all wake up wanting to win every day, and I could see that in her last night. So,
she was amazing, and the videos, like as she was still talking trash to Slay, she was still posting videos and still recording videos and still doing every bit of the normal work that she would be doing, which is way more than I could do at that time.
Then I would be videoing. I told you my phone died last night, but I was shooting so much crap. But anyway, I would be shooting a video, and she would be too.
Yeah.
And then I texted her my video, and then she put them together, like edited, like big time.
Oh no, she like the content that she's going to be putting out. Look, everything that you're seeing right now from Split Happens. Wait until next week and the stuff that she's going to be doing at SEC Media Days. This was just a preview of some of the stuff that she's going to be doing for 104.5. She's going to kill it. And we may see if we can get her to do the little bunny hop at some point in time down the hallway for her trying to bowl last night, because that little thing was hilarious.
She was rolling. She was definitely rolling, though.
First game, she was rolling. Second game, she was guttering. First game, she was rolling.
I think a lot of us were like that. Like, I don't know. Like, I was good for about 7 frames, and then it fell apart.
The more fried I get, I'm better. I'm gonna get.
You got better, like much better.
More. I got.
My guy
fried.
Aaron got better. Mark got better.
He got much frieder. Next.
Hunk got better.
The more fried I got better.
Hunk doesn't drink.
I don't drink, but I downed 2 Red Bulls. That's all I did.
The sleepier he got.
Oh, my God. No, I'm telling you. I was sitting there and it was 9:30, and I'm going, man, I'd love to play another game. And then all I thought was, I still have an hour and a half drive ahead of me. I got to go.
Hey,
I got to go.
While you're in here, what did we decide as a company about Threads?
Oh,
like
I thought you said
joked
threats. I was like, threats.
No. I joked earlier that I didn't know what it was. I mean,
Yeah.
I know what it is, but I'm not there because I think we were evaluating it.
So I'm not 100% sure myself.
Okay, good.
Because
so let me just say it into a microphone.
No, because here's what's happening. Because like the day it came out, everybody signed up because you wanted to make sure you got your handle. Like I got mine, so I wanted to have Joe Hunk. Like you wanted your handle. But then about like an hour later, you get this email from corporate that says, "Hey, yeah, don't post anything on Threads. We don't know anything about it. Safety concerns and every bit of this." And we're like, "Oh, okay." I think what it means is Brent Doherty can have a Threads account. Ron Slay can have a Threads account. Joe Hunt can have a Threads account. 3HL cannot. That's what I think it means.
As of right now.
As of this very moment.
I'm sure we'll get there.
Yes, as of this moment.
I'm glad we
and if they don't do a latest tweet follow or latest tweet category, Threads is going to be gone anyway, and it's not going to matter.
They don't do a what?
You know how when you go on Twitter, you have the ability to look at tweets for you that like Twitter suggests, and then you can go to the ones that you're following that gives them to you like in order. Yeah, you don't have that option with Threads. It just has the for you, and I don't care about half the things that are on there for the for you.
Gotcha.
So
you should care about things that are for you.
No, because look, as smart as AI is, they don't know everything that's for me.
All right. Thank you, Hunk. There's the Hunk update. 615-737-1045 at 3HL1045. John is in Birmingham. John, what's up?
What up, John?
John, what's up?
Gentlemen, hello. I wanted to say, first off, I've already purchased 3HL on Threads, so it's up for sale. If you guys want to holler at me, I'm willing to sell it.
You're willing to sell what, John? Say it one more time.
I'm willing to sell 3HL on Threads. I went ahead and bought it while y'all were talking.
John, I used to like you, man.
Secondly, Joe Hunk is right. I don't like saying that, but Joe Hunk is right because I don't like the for you thing because I don't like the fact that I know who Adam 22 and a certain Lena girl is. But I jump on Twitter, and now I know what that is. And if y'all don't know what it is, don't look it up, especially on your work computer, because that is not something that you kind of want to do on a on some kind of work device. But gentlemen, I called in today because I wanted to know: have y'all heard of the chain of screening?
No, the chain of screening.
No, the chain of screaming is something where, like, if you're at work or if you're out somewhere and, like, your boss or someone, like, more important or higher up yells at you and you feel kind of bad, so then you go and yell at someone that's, like, lesser than you, and it kind of goes on and goes on. So it's just that chain of screaming.
Yep,
and that's what the NCAA is doing right now. The NCAA not too long ago was begging for oversight about NIL and all like that. They went to Congress, please, give us oversight, give us something. Meanwhile, Jeremy Pruitt, they're like, oh, we've got some power over him. We're going to hammer him for 6 years. Meanwhile, Phil Fulmer is sitting around doing nothing and acting like nothing happened there. So the NCAA, to me, is just coming across as weak and just awful because you're thinking like you've got some power when everyone kind of has to go along with your rules. So the power you do have, you flex over Jeremy Pruitt.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, everyone else out here is out, buying cars and Lamborghinis and spending money doing all that. And everyone's on the wiser. And the NCAA saying, hey, please, can someone come in here and take care of this and handle this? I don't know. NCAA just really, really annoys me. That and, well, having to stretch before bowling, that annoys me too. But the NCAA is slightly more.
Thank you, John. That was a good idea. I should have stretched before I bowled.
I wasn't going to play with my quads. All my hamstrings. I know them.
I felt like I was like kind of hacky last night.
Yeah,
it was like back, forth, back, forth,
you
and
need
forth.
rubber band. It's like that's
Yeah,
how
I need to be more fluid.
There you go.
I need to be a fluid athlete, Slay. I was very robotic.
Yeah, that's stretch you. Can't play around with them.
I felt like I needed to like hop as I rolled it too.
like Sammy.
Yeah, get something there. NCAA is a joke. It is funny that they are handing down penalties on paying players now that you can pay players, but back then it was against the rules, so there you go. Also, Reggie Bush should have his Heisman Trophy back.
Very true.
615-737-1045 at 3HL1045. More of the discussion on the Tennessee infractions next. 3HL1045, The Zone.
Do you have credit card debt? Maybe you've got those insane interest rates. I always look at my credit card and just shake my head at that interest rate. You can use your home equity now to pay them all off, and you can do it with Loan Pronto. Loan Pronto can help you get cash out 50 grand, 100 grand, 200 grand in less than a week. And here's the deal. Maybe you're like, yeah, okay, well, look at the mortgage rate. I'm not doing that. Well, guess what? You don't even have to touch your primary mortgage. So you can keep that 3% rate intact and just get the money out you need with Loan Pronto. Pay off those credit cards. Pay off the car loan. Get that home improvement project started, maybe. Get a fridge that actually fits into the spot that you need to put it in. Yeah, Loan Pronto. They can help you out. And guess what? You can access up to 90% of your home's value. In most cases, there's no appraisal. Call Loan Pronto now for the even faster Equity Express line, 615-499-5780, loanpronto.com at 499-5780. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
3HL 104.5, The Zone. Brent Doherty, Ron Slay with you on a Friday afternoon. We call it Trash Talk Friday here on 3HL. We also call it Friday Day. So if you are celebrating Friday Day with us, do so responsibly.
Or recovering from a Thursday when you was fried. More sugar.
That Thursday is going to throw off my whole weekend, man. Like,
because you go drained into the weekend where you're supposed to be amped to get into the weekend.
yeah, you're supposed to ramp up. It's like getting on the interstate.
Yeah, but I already got my battery cables hooked up. I'm ramped. I am ramped, people.
Man, that was fun. So this time next year, man, when you guys see Split happens 3,
Yeah.
make sure you sign up.
Be quick. Because it's really going to sell out next time.
Yeah, I
We
mean,
might get a bigger venue.
I think we, I don't know, maybe a 2-night thing.
Yeah. I really have to get that whole section back there with the games and everything. And start, it's going to have to go probably from 6 to 10:30. That was 7 to 9. We go straight off the air, straight in the party.
I know we were still like warming up in our first game at like 8:15, and Babs realized what time it was, and she started like, "Hey, man, we got to get going. We got to go."
Yep. Yeah, that was good.
615-737-1045 at 3HL 1045. Tennessee finally getting its infractions from the Jeremy Pruitt situation. $8 million, largest fine levied by the NCAA to a school. No bowl ban, though, so Tennessee escapes that, and that was a big part of this for Tennessee.
Yeah, they had to get on out of there. I just love the self-imposed sanctions before it even came down. So now
Danny White handled this exceptionally well.
He did.
Yes.
Tip the cap to him. He lightened the blow, especially with – you would hate to see these imposed sanctions come down when now you rolling like this with the success – right there at your fingertips, and then you have to miss a bowl game. It's like, oh, come on. But instead of going back, continue stepping forward, man. Great job by Danny White and company.
615-737-1045. Eric in Nashville next up on 3HL. Eric, what's up?
Eric.
How's everybody doing? I'm definitely going to be getting fried here for too long, that's for sure.
All right, man. Hey, be careful out there, though, Eric.
Oh, at the house. I got in trouble over a decade ago, maybe doing a little tipsy driving that I should have been doing, and I've learned my lesson. So, and I'm getting old.
There you go, brother.
Yeah, and you guys mentioned Danny White. Dodgy Hillman deserves a lot of credit. At the time, it's funny, I've gone back and listened to Brent Hubbs and Austin Price at VolQuest. I just love their coverage, but they were talking about at the time, they thought Donnie Plowman was just going to ruin the whole university, was just firing Pruitt at the get-go, but she deserves a lot of credit. She got out in front of this.
Yes, you're right.
And, I mean, comparison, look at the way, it's different situations, but look how Northwestern's handled everything with Pat Fitzgerald, and now that's an absolute you-know-what show.
Yeah, I mean, when she found out, she basically threw, if I remember correctly, this has been going on for so long, but she basically, like, this happened before you were even on 3HL, Slay, I think, right? Yep. But anyway, she basically threw herself at the mercy of the court when she found out, like, here, this is what I have learned. We are investigating. We're going to do our due diligence, and she did.
Yeah, and I like what, they were talking, Austin Price, those guys talking about, if they didn't do that, then if somebody else comes along and they go straight to NCAA, well, then you could get hit with lack of institutional control, and then who knows where you're at. Right. But the biggest thing is not losing a bowl game. And, again, go back, listen to those guys at VolQuest. They were talking about they know for sure there are recruits, former recruits that are on other rosters, that one of their main things for not coming to Tennessee was the potential bowl ban and NCAA stuff. So I think recruiting is where you're going to see the biggest thing. Is I know some scholarship stuff, but not punishing the kids who did nothing wrong in the situation. I know they screwed over Oklahoma State basketball a year or two ago, which was a load of crap.
Yeah,
the NCAA, and they're dead ducks walking. They're just a water holder for everything else.
Yep.
They're just there as a somebody that's quote unquote in control. They're not really they don't have it. But anyway, I'm glad it's over with. ready for the season to start. I'm going down to the swamp this year, and if I might need to rely on you guys for some bail money if the things that I've heard that used to happen to the swamp continue to happen, because that kind of stuff happens with me. I'm getting in a fight.
If somebody throws a urine balloon at you, you're gonna blow up.
Oh hell yeah! Hey, I mean, hey, you could, you know what? I could handle almost anything, but I don't know if I could whoop the person that did it. But you bet your bottom dollar I'm going to try.
I love it.
All right, Eric,
Have a
man.
good weekend, guys.
Yep.
You too,
All right,
brother.
be careful out there, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's something, man. Salute to Donnie Plowman for getting out in front of that. I remember when we were talking to Hypo 2 years ago. He was saying, man, like going into this, we're not going to be able to have our full allotment of roster spots available to us, and we're still going to keep stepping. And then you heard him last year talk about, man, you got to remember, we still are not even all the way complete. Like, this thing is still looming over us. So for them to finally get a verdict on this and be able to be like, okay, this is the direction we're going. I think they now the next 2 years, maybe they have 80 to 82 of the 85 scholarship people on roster, players on roster. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, it's 12
just what
over
those
5 years,
spots.
I think,
Yeah.
because they've already done some
Like
due diligence there.
15 to 17 or something.
Our buddy Blake Krieger asked, does NIL help to pay scholarships for quote-unquote walk-ons?
That's a good question.
I have heard of scenarios where they have done that.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be a way around the scholarship reduction.
It could be.
I don't know.
Well, I tell you one thing. Like, we will have Spire on the guys that founded it and are running it next week on SEC Media Day. So we'll be able to ask them.
Right. And so, like, for example, Tennessee's basketball roster has one more scholarship player than it should right now.
Right.
So something's got to be done there.
Yep.
So does that mean that, I don't know, Josiah Jordan-James becomes a walk-on and then he gets an NIL deal? Or, I don't know.
Some has that. You do have a luxury in order to do that.
I was thinking about our conversation yesterday with Tennessee and how, we kind of got excited as we went through the schedule and found 10 wins. Babs is thinking more like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
And so she's at 9 and we're at 10. She's not that far off from us, even though, we had kind of a spirited discussion about that.
And even though she's saying that's a step back, which I mean, it technically
9 with a bowl win and you get 10 wins, that's back-to-back 10-win seasons.
Let's roll. That's what I'm saying.
While you're trying to build a program?
Man, let's roll. Let's party. That's all I'm saying.
And then you got Nico going into year 2, coming off that.
See, this is the scary thing about that whole situation. I'm going to let you take off your. Look at all the hype around Joe Milton right now and the weapons.
This is where I was going. I was thinking about Joe Milton, but no, go.
But
I'll
I'm
add
just
to
saying,
it.
if you go a step further and look the year in advance, do you know how much hype is going to be around Nico being able to sit for a year?
Here's the other thing. Tennessee's going to blow out some teams early in the schedule, and he's going to get some run.
You're going to get to see him. You're going to get to see him.
But that leads me to a question. I was talking with Chris Lowe about it. There's a lot of Joe Milton hype, and I think a lot of that has to do with the performance in the bowl game.
Yeah.
Against Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing, so we've seen Joe Milton develop in terms of making he's now able to make all the throws, right? Like he's not just like throwing missiles out there.
Yeah. Or bombs.
Yeah, and just knocking people. I mean, hurting his own receivers.
Grenades, yeah.
Who are we talking to? Javonte Payton?
Yeah.
About like going across the middle and like Joe Milton just firing it. Like it hurts.
He was the first candid player. They was saying, man, why you keep throwing it that hard, man? You ain't got to do that.
But I was talking with Chris Lowe about it. The one thing that we don't know about Joe Milton, how does he respond when there's adversity and it's a tight game in the fourth quarter?
Yep.
Not that he can't or won't. We just haven't seen it.
We ain't seen it. And we did get an opportunity.
You think that's a fair question?
Without question.
Yeah.
Without question. Ain't no doubt in my mind, yes. Because that test, that's the character right there. That's the character of your team. If you're known as a team that here we go. I'm going to tell you, prime example, Tennessee versus Alabama. Hendon Hooker, and I want to say it was Jabari Small. I could be wrong. It might have been Jalen Wright. But the handoff goes. It's supposed to be RPO. He pulls it. Ball's fumbled. Linebacker picks it up for Alabama, runs it in the end zone. The reason nobody, and I'm saying this to a man, The reason nobody panicked in that stadium is because the way Hendon Hooker ran to the sideline. He didn't go over there dropping his head and slamming on his hip. Hyper was calm. Like, everybody is zeroed in on this to see the reactions of them. And it was just like, all right, look, man, this is what we're going to do. When you go back out there, these are plays we're going to run. And everybody was like, you know what, we all right. Because he brought that calm over everyone. And you seen him in those positions. And it's like, dude, we're going to strike. They can't stop us. We just got to get another stop on defense. So,
yeah, and that's leadership.
Milton.
So Joe Milton has that same characteristic.
You said that coming out of the Vanderbilt game.
Yeah, because we ended up sitting right behind the bench and just watching. I was telling Chris Lowe this today, actually. Just watching how people interact with him.
Yeah.
You can tell, when somebody is the kind of person that people gravitate toward.
Yeah. Yep.
Not even like a knowing decision to do it. You just kind of do it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's that guy for sure. And he's so calm and steady.
Without question. And you saw it going up there in the orange and white game, being on the field behind the scenes and sitting there talking to guys. You can see who has command, like you just said. And even to take it outside of the –
That's a good way to say it, command, yeah.
He got it. And when he talks, people listen. You know what I'm saying? One, because the man is a imposing figure. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't no –
he's a dude.
5'9" guy that's sitting there trying to get everybody's attention. He run around 6'4", 6'5", man, diesel.
6'5", 242 is what he's listed at.
And look every bit of it. You know what I'm talking about? So you got that, like, it's some people that just have that, man, and not to stray from the conversation, but another person, and people wonder why I'm so on board with it, and I know some people know I joke, but seriously, the reason I talk about Clark Lee that way and want to see them do good, and I'm like, man, I'm betting on them. He commands people like that. He commands their attention. The same way Joe Milton does for them, and we watch him, and when we see that, Clark Lee does that when he walks in the room. It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about
Clark
it.
Lee walks in, you read confidence in him. And it's more of a quiet, I know something you don't know kind of thing. You know what I mean? Joe Milton's got a personality.
He
does.
I mean, he does. You're
gonna have a good time with him. And not that Clark Lee doesn't, but he in the times that we've seen him, and we've been around him quite a bit, but he's very serious about what he's doing, and different leadership styles, but yeah, he's got command. And I mean, we went with the over last year. We're going to go with the over again this year. 3.5.
Yeah.
No, over that.
To get that, man.
By the way,
he won't settle for less.
Joe Milton in the bowl game against Clemson, if you don't remember, Tennessee won 31-14 against Clemson. Joe Milton, 19 of 28, 251 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Right.
And just had control.
Yeah, he did.
In that football game.
He exudes confidence, man. You have to. You got to be. Like Savage says it all the time. In order to be great, man, you got to be a little bit crazy to believe in yourself in certain situations. And I think he got that crazy. So, gonna be fun watching it. Can't wait.
615-737-1045 is the number at 3HL1045. You can watch the show on YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Thank you. Smiley, 3HL presented by Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, springhillac.com. Again, almost $9 million in fines is what it's going to turn out to be. More than 200 infractions during the Jeremy Pruitt fiasco.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee now 5 years probation, a loss of 28 scholarships, which they've already handled more than half of that, I think. And they will vacate wins in which any of 16 players that were a part of this participated. They haven't said which games those are. I don't think it matters personally. Vacated wins don't mean anything.
No.
Like I said in the Alabama, like when Alabama was on probation, they had to vacate wins or whatever.
Yeah.
This is a long time ago, but I saw the game. They won. Like, I mean,
you got it. So it'd be like the Men in Black movie when they put the little laser up and blank your memory of it. You got to look into the light, boom, and they blind you, and you're just like, okay, I lost that.
You're blinded by the light.
You no longer was at that game, yo.
I never happened. I mean,
just spent the money and everything, but oh well.
Could we forget the whole Pruitt era?
Yeah, I mean, just vacate that whole era.
Yeah,
how about that?
Yeah.
Might be down for that.
Yeah, but there's so many other eras. The Dooley era, but like, what we gonna do with those? Might as well group them all together and just live in it.
Here's the thing about all of that. Like I always say this about life. You know, we all go through trials and tribulations through our lives, right? But it gets us to where we are in this moment.
Yep.
So you had to have gone through that to get here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
is how I look at things.
And it's so fun here.
Right, Jackson?
Yeah.
It is so fun being in this spot.
James next up on 3HL. James, what's up, man?
Hey, thanks for taking my phone call. Jim, hello?
Yes, sir. Gotcha.
Oh, yeah. Just making sure I didn't get hung up on. This is just a really bad, dark day for Tennessee fans. What really worries me the most about this is not necessarily the loss of scholarships over a 5-year period. Is this going to affect people transferring? And especially since we're building something special, I feel like that's all I wanted to say about that. But I wanted to ask both of you all, do you all think Hendon Hooker – you all think Hendon Hooker has been the best Tennessee quarterback since Peyton Manning? I think – now you think of Tyler Bray, you think of what was the kid? Aaron Gaines. I still think Hendon Hooker was the best quarterback since Peyton Manning. Just want to hear your thoughts on that and how Tennessee's going to do fair in the 2023 season. Thank you.
Listen. T. Martin won a national title.
Yeah,
it's hard to just run through him. Casey Clausen was the Iceman. I loved him.
And he won the SEC championship.
You want to talk about freaking confident dude walking around campus?
Different. Talking about they calm, yeah. Yeah, Iceman on deck.
He was like a 40-year-old man walking around over there.
Super cool. Super cool. Like it's
already like losing hair and stuff.
Yeah. I don't know if you. He's definitely one of the greats.
Statistically, Hendon Hooker's better than anybody.
Yeah. I think what separates it is, and this is a shame, but this is part of it. You know, as a team that wins, then the quarterback gets lifted higher. He didn't win anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, he did pull us out of the ashes, though. I think that's itself and re-energized the fan base and the school and everything else. I think Dobbs had a little bit to do with it as well.
Yeah, I think like 10 years from now, like if the Josh Heupel era is continuing to roll and then they start winning SECs and maybe a national title or something like that,
catalyst.
Then you can look back at Hendon Hooker as being a part of that group that transformed Tennessee from the depths of despair back into national prominence.
I totally agree with that.
So it's hard to define that now, but Tennessee winning 11 games last year. I mean, go back 5 years.
Yeah.
And think about, like, hey, man, 5 years from now, Tennessee's going to win 11 games. They're going to go win the Orange Bowl with a backup quarterback. You'd be like, what?
Yeah, what?
Babs would be like, those orange tinted glasses.
Yeah, there y'all go.
there y'all
go again, fools.
By the way, speaking of threads, Matt, who is a big Kentucky fan, I think, Matt, I hope I'm right about that. Brent Doherty, quote, so what's the deal with threads? Joe Hunk, I don't know for sure. Maybe Brent can have an account, but not 3HL. Brent, quote, okay, Matt's phone. You are now following Brent on threads. I did. I signed up right as he was talking.
He's ready to roll. Ready to roll. I'm in it. I'm already in it.
You're already in it? Somehow, like, when I signed up, I had 50 followers. I don't know what happened. Threads. What do you post? Like, it sounds
same
so
thing you
old right
post
now.
on Twitter. But you can post. I mean, this is the exact same thing. Is it? The only reason I look at it is I look at it like if Twitter goes away, Threads is gonna just bounce in and take the spot.
Well, I haven't posted anything. Yeah, 50 followers.
I haven't had a problem with characters yet.
Oh, I got to
running out of characters.
I've got to edit at Ron Slade 35 to the Ron Slade, don't I?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll do that. Not trying to dish you, bro.
I didn't see it. I didn't even see it.
You haven't posted anything on Threads yet.
That's the thing. Like, so many people that's on there that haven't posted because they're just holding the spot.
For some reason, I can't retweet or tweet anything right now from at Brent Doherty or at 3HL1045. I can't do it.
Maybe they know you're on Threads. Maybe they're saying,
no, this happened before I even got into Threads.
Maybe they read your mind and said, he's going to Threads.
Well, that does happen.
The Matrix, baby.
So weird, the things that happen. Also, we're late. Come on, Jackson.
Oh, wow.
I don't look at that clock, man. 615-737-1045 at 3HL1045. Grant will join us from Hoptown next. If you want in, we are wide open today.
Let's go, baby.
We'll be right back. Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits, that's where you need to go to get stocked up, and they can help you out. Jason and his crew will be ready to help you out. They've got a great selection, craft beer, incredible selection of wine, anything in the liquor world they've got for you. And so if you're the kind of guy that you know what you want and you want to get in and out really quickly, you can at Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits. If you need to ask for some advice, maybe you want to try a different type of bourbon or whiskey or tequila or craft beer or cigar, anything, they'll be able to help you out. Maybe you're looking for gifts for people, and they will be able to help you with that too. Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits, 101 Creekside Crossing in Brentwood by Publix. MarylandFarmsWS.com is the website. They're open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., closed on Sundays. Delivery through the Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits app and curbside pickup as well. Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits, locally owned, serving Brentwood for more than 17 years. Check them out. They've got Senior Day on Wednesday, so keep that in mind. Go ahead and put that in your phone for special discounts. Every day they honor the military discount. They have case discounts every day, too. So as you sit here on a Friday afternoon, stop by Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits and get stocked up for the weekend. Again, 101 Creekside Crossing in Brentwood by Publix. That's Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
Edo.
Mayor and Slay.
We in here. We off in the building, baby. Rocking and rolling is what we're doing. Getting on through. Hey, man, you know what I would love to hear, Yoram?
What would you love to hear, Slay?
I would love to hear more people call in and tell us about their night last night because, man, everybody, man, one thing I love is a good time, and it was had last night. Like, I wouldn't share it with our boss, Allison. I'll stop by there and say, hey, man, I'm going to tell you one thing. The Zone know how to party. And when you insert...
Was she nervous about what was going to come after that?
Then I showed her a picture and she started crying. Laughter, not because of the picture, but...
There's a picture that I think Babs took.
I didn't even see her take a picture.
Where you have a microphone, your jersey's off, you're just wearing your undershirt.
Yep.
Which is a white tank top undershirt.
Yep.
Should I call it that?
Yeah.
Instead of what we all call it.
Yep.
And then you had it lifted up.
Yeah.
Like above your chest almost.
Yeah.
And Coach Mack was walking towards you.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was a lot going on in that picture.
There was so much going on in that picture. You could see Buck in the background hysterically running away laughing. Coach Mack then proceeded to ask the guy behind me, hey, how do you turn this mic off? I'm like, Coach Mack, what you doing? I got it. Then all of a sudden my mic went off. He said, I'm saving you and I'm saving everybody else in here. Then I found a way to turn it back on. I turned it back on, and Coach Mack immediately turned it back off and then took my mic and set it down. So once the coach does that,
see,
you got the time for me to move on.
We all need a Coach Mack in our life.
Hey, man, do you know how many great decisions would be made if everyone had a Coach Mack?
Like if he was just there.
Dude!
Not yes! Not yes! Hell yes!
Hey, man, man. Coach Mack. That's my guy right there, man. That's my guy. So I won the $100, and then after it was donated to Home Street Home.
Mm-hmm.
So Coach Mack let me win $100, and then he donated my $100 to Home Street Home, which I couldn't. Like, see, that's the thing Coach Mack does. I want that money. I could have went and bought some wings today, but Coach Mack, who donated the money to me, what I won, he took my donation and gave it and donated it to something where I couldn't even be like, I got to be like, oh, you know what? That's the right thing to do, Coach Mack. Thank you, even though I wanted wings.
He's like almost like he was like the get back coach last night.
He was,
you know what I mean?
Get-back coach.
The guy that keeps the head coach from going after the rest.
Yeah, he was the get back coach, man.
He's always got these wise things to say too. When
always.
You're about to lose your mind about something, and then he's like, "Hey, maybe you should turn that mic off."
It's a list of things. Like he's always ready. It's so savvy knowing his personnel. That's my guy, man. I love Coach Mack.
Malik Willis Truther says everyone needs a powder dry guy.
This is very true. This is very true, man.
I'm not going to interrupt Coach Mack's day by calling him like we called Kirby.
Yeah,
but I would love to hear his take about what he experienced last night.
Yeah, I mean, and
there were a lot of hijinks that, I mean, maybe we don't remember all the details.
Yep. This is exactly what we was talking about the other day. Like, you got to have everybody there to tell the story because there's going to be pieces left out. Because you can't remember them all. You can't remember.
There was so much going on.
It was so much.
It was crazy.
Like, it was a real live after party. Mike Buckner is putting plastic over like he's a hitman. Putting plastic.
Mike Buckner's our engineer. I've known him for 27 years too.
Dude, it's like he's about to. Oh boy,
it's like an episode of Dexter in there.
Yeah,
don't walk on the plastic.
No, like it's about to go down. Whatever he's doing, whatever he's doing, it's about to go down.
Who is it? Tyler on 103.3.
Yeah. His whole room is outlined in plastic, so he better not go in there. He won't come out.
I learned when I was in sales. I learned a lesson, Jackson. You need to know this. If you go in a room and there are at least two managers in the room, don't go in there and close the door. Something's about to go down.
Stay out of there. Stay out.
615-737-1045 at 3HL1045. Grant in Hoptown. Grant, what's up?
It's Glenn. Huck has got something in his ears. Anyway, I got a quick question for you, and I'll hang up and listen. So this group of players, if they were deemed ineligible while they're here, would they be deemed ineligible at any school that they transferred to? And the question is Toho in that group.
No, I don't think Glenn, I don't believe any players got banned or scholarships taken away. I think this all fell on the staff.
We will ask, though. That's another question to ask Chris Lowe. We're accumulating great questions from you guys to ask Chris Lowe at 520. Gator Mike was at the bowling event last night. Gator Mike, what did you think? Did you have a good time?
Oh, I had a blast. I was going to say, Scoob talking smack to Slay all night from our team. Adam and the Burrow was on our team, and then Scoob's nephew, Colin. We had a great time.
Yeah.
Now, I do have to say, we were getting all kinds of compliments on our shirts, but I like the dudes in the lane beside us that had all the different, like, professional jerseys. You know, like the one dude had, like, the Steph Curry Davidson jersey. Another dude had, like, a Jeremy Lin jersey. A Mark McGuire, Oakland A's old school jersey. Of course, Dansby Swanson and stuff. I thought that was pretty cool. Cool idea.
What did y'all's shirts, how did they read? I forget.
Slanging balls. And then they all had our name on them.
Slanging balls. That's what we were doing.
Balls. But no, I had a great time. It was a great cause, like you said. Food was great. Drinks were great. Sorry I didn't get to stay for the after party, but we definitely had a good time. It was always good to see everybody. But we got those little shade at the morning show, though, right? We give Blaine and Mickey a pass because they're on vacation. But Bert is the only one from the morning show. I'm like, you been in that late?
Well, Bert was having a good enough time for everybody.
Bert was killing it. But I'm like, Ramon couldn't show, Will couldn't show, Caleb couldn't show. We used to do a drive-by, man. Come on.
See, I gave Savage a pass. Savage his son had football practice, and for some reason they're practicing late, man. So I know it's to beat the heat, but yeah. So he had a pass. But
I had a great time though. So just wanted to give y'all a shout.
Thank you, Gator
Mike. Who won on y'all team? Who's the leader of y'all team? Who won?
I think Adam or Scoob had, like, the top score.
Okay.
Overall, I don't know if we added all those up or not. Scoob's probably got it, but, yeah, we struggled a little bit, but we had a good time doing it.
No doubt, man.
That's it. That's all you can do in life, man.
That's when you know you having a good time.
You're going to have successes and challenges. Might as well have a damn good time every day.
Dude, like, nobody cares who scored what. Like, all we was worried about who was the lowest. That's the person we're going to make fun of. So
I don't even remember who the lowest was.
Zelf was horrific.
Zelf
was horrific.
Joseph, who produces our show sometimes.
Bonanno. With a name like that, how can you be horrible with a name like Bonanno? And you got Mike Buckner out here putting plastic all over these other rooms. It's probably for Zelf.
Zelf said he bowled at school.
Zelf out the family.
There were two specific people that wanted in badly.
Jawan is the other one.
Call him out.
Yep, Jawan
was on my team. I was like, hey, man, you need to clear your head. Calm down. Calm down. Because it was, what did you say? Juan had 4 gutter balls in a row?
Straight. Like, what are you doing?
I have one the entire night.
They begged, though.
How about that?
Him and Zelf both was like, hey, man, I didn't know y'all needed one. Put me on y'all team, man. Put me on your team. So Jawan finally gets me, all right, I got you, dog. We finna start over. I got you. Put him on the team. Boom. Put him in, and then we switch lanes, so we got to put your names back on. Jawan was like, I put Jay right there. I'm like, all right, cool. So he walk off. Zelf tapped me on the shoulder like, hey, man, you know I could take Hunk's spot. I said, Zelf, can you bowl? And he looked at me in my eyes while I was fried and told me, you know,
lied to you.
I used to bowl in school. I was like, oh, you was on the school team? He was like, yeah, man. I was like, oh man, hell yeah. Hey, Juwan, you on your and them team.
Oh,
give us Zelf.
I see now.
Yeah, give us
Listen
Zelf.
to you.
Give us Zelf. Man, we get Zelf on our team, and Lord have mercy. He was sabotaged everything. And then walked back and holler out, hey man, I was talking about a high school team. I was Zelf. I don't care what team it was. Farm league, little league team. Dog, you're not supposed to be that bad.
You can't tell people you're good at golf and not be good at golf because it's going to be really evident really early.
Yep.
Same thing with bowling.
You can't, man.
I mean,
it's just you in the lane.
Yeah.
Nobody's
tricks. Fault. There's no rain delay. I mean, there's no wind out here.
There's no tricks to the trade out there, y'all. Good God, Zelf. Boy. Ooh. And do you know what's crazy? The whole game, he was trying to coach Hunk. He was building Hunk up. Lord,
he was the game before.
Yes.
When he wasn't bowling, he was sitting there coaching Hunk. You're right.
If I'm Hunk, boy, I'm going back and I'm talking so crazy to Zelf, like, dude, you cannot coach me if you're going to play like that.
Hey, those who can't do, teach.
See? It's a prime example.
Oh, man. 5 o'clock hour, 3HL. Trash Talk Friday. Any direction you want to go, we're going to do it. So hit us up, 615-737-1045. Adam on YouTube. When you look over from your lane, you see Brent laying on the floor, you know it's a good time.
Yeah.
3HL 1045 The Zone.
What's happening, good people? Ron Slay here. You know, with weight loss, yes, it's like a game of life, man. You don't want to be just dribbling around in circles. That's why I chose Awaken 180 Weight Loss. This ain't one of those yo-yo diets. Nah, this is the program all about the long haul. Now, just think about it. There are more than enough folks out there looking to shed some pounds. So why try to keep the same ones in a revolving door? Awaken 180, they ain't playing no games. They're about helping you drop that weight once and for all. And here's the best part. You pay one time. Learn the ins and outs of healthy eating and living, and then it's yours to keep. Plus, they got your back with free lifelong support. That's the key. Look, I dropped 22 pounds in my first 4 weeks, 45 overall, and I haven't put a pound back on yet. Nope. And I did put a pound of muscle back on, but that's neither here nor there. Don't get caught up in a never-ending cycle. Reach for the buzzer-beating shot with Awaken 180. Reserve your consultation at awaken180weightloss.com. Play the long game, folks. Y'all, call 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800 to get your reserve your consultation now.
Good evening from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Joe Hunk. The NCAA handed down the punishment for the Tennessee Volunteers, and the only thing you really need to know, Jeremy Pruitt has a 6-year show cause, no bowl ban, so New Year's 6, any bowl games in particular, and the college football playoff can still happen for the Tennessee Vols in 2023. They do have to pay an $8 million fine, which in 2023, with what colleges are making, not that big of a deal, and a 5-year probation as well. And you got baseball as it is back from the All-Star break. The Chicago White Sox taking on the Braves tonight, 6:20 first pitch on Bally Sports. And do not forget Nashville FC and Cincy tomorrow. Pregame starts at 6 o'clock on 104.5 The Zone. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, as well as home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone. Pruitt Doherty with you on a Friday afternoon in the Music City. The weekend is here. We appreciate you being with us.
Yeah, it's on the right.
There he is, Ronald Sylvester Slay.
I'm in the building. I'm in the building. Hey, I'm in the building.
I'm in the building. I'm in the building.
I'm in the building. I'm in the building.
By the way, to clean up what we were just talking about, Zeph and his lack of bowling game, despite the fact that he was bragging about his bowling game. He's all up in our 3HL little WhatsApp message board.
I don't know why.
In all caps, I helped Hunk ask him exclamation points.
And couldn't help myself. Ask him.
Hey, Zeph, we love you, bro. Stop yelling at us.
He's very defensive.
Zeph, you didn't help yourself, man. Oh, I'm sorry. Like that was
he might have helped Hunk, though, because Hunk did well.
He did. He kept. I will say he kept his confidence up.
And again, there is something to that. Those who can't do teach.
Yep.
So maybe Zeph is a really good bowling coach.
Yeah, he definitely don't need to never touch the lanes, though. His feet should never touch the wood. Ever.
Ever. So the time that we're talking about Split Happens, Buck Rising's second annual bowling event last night at King's Dining and Entertainment was a great time had by all that were there. And there were people that were there that weren't bowling, which is cool because, we were encouraging people to show up. And that house was packed.
Yeah.
It was packed. Like, it was tough to move around.
Yes, it was. No, really, yeah. There was plenty of excuse me. Let me get right there. Okay, let me get right there. All day. I'm talking about from lane 1 to – what was it? How many? 20 lanes? I don't even know how many.
I don't remember.
Yeah, but as many of them it was packed. No room to move at all. Loved it. Every bit of it. I missed that. Miss being out with the people, man. Shout out to the people that came out and held it down. Y'all don't want to miss no zone parties or events. Because, see, that's the thing. The events turn into parties. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go into it thinking one thing, and you come out like, dude, when is the next one? So I just want everybody, y'all start emailing Rich Ferris. Let Rich know, man, we want some more zone events because it was everything. I'm telling you.
It was fun. And so Adam mentioned, it's a good time when you look over and see Brent laying on the floor. I was laying on the floor because I had a spare and then a strike, and then I knew I had another strike.
You got robbed.
And one pin stood up.
You got robbed. Like, it was straight on and everything.
I hit the floor. Because at that point, I was talking trash to you, Darren Page, everybody.
Yep.
Didn't last long.
But you won me some money. I bet on you. On picking it up. And
I had no idea. So my friend Aaron was there.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rice, if y'all know him, he had a good time too. He's a great dude. But anyway, I saw like money switching hands.
Mm-hmm.
And then at one point, he bet against me. And I'm like, I'm on your team. He's like, well, I won.
Guess what? I love betting when people don't know because then you ain't no pressure on you.
Well, yeah, it wouldn't change what I was doing.
Yeah, but still, though, I bet on Babsy to pick up. Babsy picked it up too. So yeah, but then they want to know, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna get it. No, just go do your thing.
You do you.
I'm gonna do me back here.
Yeah,
I got it.
Let things play out.
Yeah.
You can watch the show live on Zone TV, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Smiley, what's he doing out there? A lot of times producers are doing 8 million things at once. Not that time.
No. Smiley just back at texting Zelf probably. Trying to figure
was
out why
texting
Zelf
me.
Yeah, tell him stop texting you. Because he need to be at some bowling lane practicing.
He's mad because I put it in your ear about reminded you of his bowling
Yeah,
performance.
good job, Smiley.
You did remind him because we hadn't mentioned that in
Nope.
2 hours.
Because, yeah, he was garbage.
Like hot.
Yeah. Burnt hot garbage.
615-737-1045, whatever you want to get into, we are here for you. Chris Lowe coming up in the next segment. We'll talk about this Tennessee finally getting its infractions from the Jeremy Pruitt situation. How frustrating did that situation have to be for Josh Heupel? I mean, because he took the job knowing this was hanging out there, but didn't figure it would be like going into year 3.
Yeah. You expected to come on down and get the judgment and let's move on. It looming the entire time. And then imagine if he wasn't able to put the product out there on the field that sells itself. Like, imagine if Tennessee just won 7 games. You know what I'm saying? Or 6 games. And you're like, man, hold on, man. I'm telling you, once I get my guys in, he went and did this without having a full roster and was able to still be able to go out and hit the recruiting trail like this.
Yeah.
That says a lot, man. And that
with
also
this hanging
says,
out there.
Yeah, exactly. And it says a lot about Danny White, who you can depend on. Like, he knew the character of whoever you brought in here, you knew you had to trust to be able to get you over the hump. And they had to trust in you that you were going to be able to go and fight it and have all the backing. So everybody holding hands in the kumbaya moment, walking in there, Commissioner Sankey, Don DePlowman, Danny White, like everybody going to go handle it. That's what's up, man. And that was during the Tennessee tailgate. They was on the road. Remember when they went to, what was it, St. Louis?
Yeah.
Danny White didn't even get to come down here and get on. He was supposed to get on with us, too. He didn't get to come because
That's right.
He had to go do that. But, yeah.
Josh Heupel on the Paul Feinbaum show about his initial reaction. He said, quote, well, we knew it was coming down the pipeline for a while now. We got word late yesterday that we would definitely have a conclusion to it today. Excited that we're able to reach a great conclusion here. Our administration has worked for 2.5 years on trying to find a resolution to this. They found out about what was going on, reported it, and have been transparent, led by Donde Plowman, for sure. That's what we were talking about earlier. The second she found out about it, she was out there. Like, here's what we're dealing with. We wanted to protect our athletes to make sure they had an opportunity to compete for championships. We were able to do that. Really happy that we get a chance to put this behind us and move forward. That's one of the previous callers said, like, this is a dark day for Tennessee. I don't think so at all.
I don't either.
Now you just move forward.
Yeah.
It's like anything in life. Like, we keep talking about it, but like good things happen to you and challenges happen to you and you move forward.
You got to get up and keep rolling.
And so now this is done.
Yep. It's time to get to work.
So I actually think, like what Heupel said, like it's actually a good day for Tennessee to move past this.
That's how I am.
Yeah.
Like that dark cloud is removed. You can see the sun peeking through. It ain't always shiny yet, but you can see the rays coming through.
I can see clearly now. The rain is gone.
Thank you, Yoram.
Is that what you were?
Yes, that's exactly what I was doing.
Is that what you were shooting for? All right, 3HL presented by Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, SpringHillHC.com. We'll get Chris Lowe's take. He and Pete Thamel broke this story, so we'll ask him about all of that. Also, the Jeremy Pruitt lawsuit. One of our callers today brought that up. What's going on there? I haven't even thought about that in so long that we'll ask Chris about it. And also, one of the 16 players were named. So Tennessee's going to have to vacate wins that involved any of the 16 players. They didn't name the players.
Yeah.
But what about those? None of those players are still in Tennessee's program. What about their transfer? Like, are they eligible? Things like that. The answer will be yes, but we will talk with Chris about all of these things next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty. What up, Slay Dog?
No skis. What's happening?
This time I am doing 1,000 things.
He's trying to get to Chris Lowe. Hey, Slay. Control what you can control.
Yes, Euro.
You can turn on your mic.
I've never turned it on.
Ever?
Like Hunk always turns it on.
Huh. Let's start again. Hey, Slay, what's up, man?
What's happening, Euro?
Has it just been Jersey week this week?
Yeah, man, it's been Jersey. It might be. I ain't gonna be Jersey next week because we're at SEC Media Day. But
Super Enalato.
yeah, that was lottery.
Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm. The lottery company.
Valve Climber. What?
Valve Chimberio.
How do you get Chimberio out of that?
I'm just telling you.
35. Have you ever not been 35?
Yeah, so I hated it too. So I went with 6 and 9. 6, 9, and 11. But mostly number 6 and number 9.
Why 6 and why 9?
I don't know.
Oh.
9 because I like Michael Jordan Olympics. And when I got overseas, they have where they have to be able to hold the officials have to be able to hold your numbers up on if they're using two hands, it has to equal one number. So they'll be like, it's a foul on number 9.
1 to 10.
Over here it would be like, yeah. Over here they'll be like, that's a foul on number 45. They can't do that. So then they passed the rule midway through my professional playing career, and where they said, all right, now you can start wearing any number. And I immediately told them, give me tray 5. So, yeah, man, some weird rules to it. But when we come back from SEC Media Week, I'm going to be Jersey Gate again. So that's what I'm going to start doing in the summer, Jersey Gate.
Jersey Gate sounds like an investigation.
I know. I'm investigating what number.
I just like reading all of the logos.
Yeah, this was one of my favorite teams, Varese.
You look like you're playing basketball for a cartoon team.
Well, sometimes
like Bugs Bunny is running down the lane or something.
It felt like management was treating it like a cartoon at times, but we powered through that. But this is in right up there by Lake Como, in Italy, northern Italy. Right.
What was your favorite place to play? Like city-wise, area-wise?
It's tough, man. All of them had their own.
Did you say you were in Istanbul, or was that somebody?
Yeah, that was my least favorite. That was my funnest. That was the funnest to party though. Like,
really?
Yeah, it was crazy, and that's when war was happening, and so it was like, man. I remember Bush came on, and he came on MTV. And told everybody, if you're abroad, stay in the house. What did we do? Immediately went to the center of town. started partying. Like, dude, it wasn't no practice. We was like, man, Bush said stay in. So we telling our teams, hey, man, we can't come to practice. George Bush came on and said we need to stay in the house.
So
Meanwhile, we partying. I'm talking about, when I say fried, turkey was a whole nother level of fried.
Fried turkey.
Yeah. Boom!
You were a fried turkey in turkey?
In turkey. Hell yeah. Whoa, that was wild. I loved it. Fun times.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Chris Lowe joins us. Lowe Dog, what's up? How are you?
What you doing, Lowe?
Yo,
hey, guys. Sorry about that.
Hey, you're good.
Some glitches there. Hey, doing great. Anything happening? Anything going on today?
Well, I mean, we were just talking about Slay's time overseas, and his least favorite place was Istanbul. But he said that was the best place to party, and he said George Bush came on television, told it, if you're abroad, stay in the house. And so him and his teammates immediately went to go party because they didn't have practice.
Yeah. So,
Can you believe that?
I don't believe that for a minute. about
that. I don't know why he's spreading these lies on me, CeeLo. Why would I do such a thing?
You told the story.
Yeah, I was false. I was making up something for time.
Chris, you and Pete Thamel with the story today. Tennessee finally gets the infractions from the Jeremy Pruitt situation, and it's funny. Like one of our callers today said it's a dark day for Tennessee, and I think it's completely the opposite. Like now it's time to move on, right? Like it's over.
Well, I know, we talked to ESPN to Josh Heupel today, and I know that's the way he feels. That just the sense of relief, and just the fact that, in his words, that innocent players and staffers weren't punished with a bowl ban, a postseason ban. No one's happy at Tennessee that they're on 5 years probation. There's an embarrassment factor that goes there with that. You have the chair on the call, the NCAA call, they say it's some of the most expansive and egregious violations she's seen, more than 200 individual infractions. But Tennessee saved themselves, Donnie Plowman, Randy Boyd, whether you agreed with them at the time or agree with them now, they saved themselves a bowl ban by jumping on this quick. I mean, it was almost 2.5 years, and more than 2.5 years ago, that Donnie Plowman got that initial tip that there were some potential violations in the football program. She followed up. They hired an outside firm. They come in. They investigate exhaustively what's going on. They turn themselves in. They claim false. They fire everybody. Jeremy Pruitt, pretty much everybody that remotely again, a new AD, Danny White, he completely revamps the athletic department, and here we are. I mean, had they not, and again, at the time there were some people who said how stupid that Tennessee would turn themselves in, but had they not and gotten caught with their hands in the cookie jar, they would have been looking at it at probably, I don't think there's even probably to it, a 2-year bowl ban. Now, $8 million, which is probably closer to $9 million, they're going to have to pay when all the fees are added up and fines. There's nothing to sneeze at. But you guys tell me, if you talk to fans today on the radio, do fans care the fact that it's $9 million, or that they'd be sitting on the sidelines not watching Tennessee play this year in a bowl game when, oh, by the way, it's probably the most anticipated season Tennessee's had in football in 2 decades?
That's exactly right. So what do they think about the $8 million, which, I was talking with you earlier and you wrote about it, largest fine ever handed out by the NCAA? What do they think about that part of it?
Yeah, can't find one that's been levied in an infractions case like this that was steeper. I mean, they're not happy about it, but I think it's a trade that they were willing to make.
Yeah.
And not, again, have to have a postseason ban. I mean, there's a lot of momentum around the program. I don't need to tell you guys that. You know it. Josh Heupel in 2 years has revived Tennessee football in just 2 years. And again, in talking to Josh today, it's hard to build that kind of momentum and win 11 games last year. And, yeah, there's been the unknown. There's been that cloud hanging around the program. And Tennessee tried to manage it the best they could by self-imposing some scholarship cuts and recruiting visits, et cetera. But you still don't know, what's going to happen until you hear from the NCAA. And they get the news today. And I think Tennessee, again, is, we'll make that swap. And because – the Vols are going to be a top 10 team, close to a top 10 team going to preseason. They're selling out season tickets. And I don't, I've been around Tennessee football for over 40 years. And really outside those years, the Peyton Manning years and the Al Wilson years going up into 2001 when Tennessee won the swamp, I can't think of a time in Tennessee football history when there's been this kind of momentum and this kind of anticipation and excitement. And the Tennessee brass decided, you know what? All these kids on this team and all the staffers on this team didn't have anything to do with what happened. As embarrassing as it was, we're willing to ante up, pay that kind of cash, and not have to face a postseason bowl ban.
Yeah, that's huge. What happens to understanding that Pruitt gets hit with a 6-game show clause, but what happens to the other coaches that was on staff with him? Do they kind of get to skate free on this, or some come down later?
Ron, a lot of them had already taken deals. Ron Niedermeyer, some of the other ones. I think Derek Ansley, who's in the NFL, was part of it still too. A lot of the staffers, if you read, got show causes, different years, depending on what their involvement was. The Knoxville still did a really good job of going in and FOIing emails and text messages to show the depth. And this is sort of what Donnie Plowman said back there in the press conference when they fired Jeremy Pruitt, the depth to which football staffers went to try to conceal stuff and bend the rules and the wrongdoing that occurred. So I would urge people to go to knoxnews.com. They've got a lot of the emails, I should say text messages out there among staff members. And it's out there playing in center for everybody to read. Jeremy Pruitt, I felt all along, rightfully or wrongfully, or wherever you stand on this, was going to get hammered, and he did. I don't know that Jeremy and his side felt like he was going to get punished the way he did today. He hasn't coached football in 2 years. I thought maybe he might get some time served. He did not. He's got a 6-year show cause which goes up through 29. And anybody that hires him in the NCAA, that first year he's suspended for the first year. Now, this doesn't mean we're never going to see Jeremy Pruitt coaching college football again. I still think there's a chance that we could see him come on as an analyst, an assistant, again, after he serves whatever year suspension he does with whoever hires him. And then that school has to go before the NCAA and show cause while they're hiring him. And the NCAA could still get, could bring the hammer and say, okay, you can hire him, but he's not going to recruit off campus or on campus. There's a lot out there like that. But I did think, given the way that the notice of allegations read and some of the other things that I heard during the investigation, that they were going to bring the hammer down on Jeremy Pruitt. And it also falls in line, guys, with the movement among the NCAA over the last year or so to go harder after the people that were committing the violations, i.e. coaches, than the school itself.
Chris Lowe with us from ESPN.com talking through the Tennessee story today. Somebody called and asked us about Jeremy Pruitt's lawsuit against Tennessee. Where do we stand with that? I hadn't even thought about that in a while.
Well, he changed lawyers. The initial one, when he first came out, remember, and the attorney was quoted and referenced several people's names, including Philip Fulmer, including Rick Barnes, some boosters. After that, Jeremy changed attorneys, and we haven't heard really much about it. I tried to reach out to Jeremy today. I've been away for the last few hours, and he may have talked to somebody, just to sort of get his comment, his side of the story, which is only fair if his attorney wanted to talk. I've not had a chance to talk to Jeremy. I'm sure we will hear from Jeremy and his attorney. The other thing to remember with regard to Jeremy, and really all sides, Tennessee's not going to appeal, but Jeremy has the right to appeal, and I think he probably will, at some point. Maybe he won't, but I think, when you look at the severity of his show cause, then I think there's a decent chance that he will appeal. And then when he does that, we may hear more. Who knows what else may come out. As for Tennessee, I know they looked at it more. I think Josh Heupel's words probably echoed throughout campus today. They just look at it as a sigh of relief that it's over and they can move forward. Yeah, there's a stain. Going back to your initial question, Brent, is it a dark day or is it a way to sort of look at it and say we're going to move forward? It might be somewhere in the middle, but I think it's closer to being Tennessee having a chance now to move forward. Yet, they're on 5 years probation. People are going to talk about it. They're going to be asked about it. Josh is going to get killed about it. I say killed. He could be peppered with questions about it at the SEC Media Days. It's going to be out there this year when they play. But at least from Tennessee's perspective, it's over. The investigation's over.
I bet he's glad that it came out before SEC Media Days because now he has a chance to have talking points and put it behind him and the program very publicly. You know what I mean? So I would think,
go back to Tennessee's statement, his statement, and what he said about it to some people. I think he was on Feinbaum today. He talked to us, ESPN, and just sort of stand on that and say what he did today. That, hey, the best thing is it's over. It's not that cloud's not hanging over our head, and he doesn't have to talk hypothetically like he would have at media days if this decision had not come down today.
Chris Lowe with us from ESPN at CeeLo ESPN. They're vacating wins in which any of 16 players participated. Someone called and asked, all the players are gone, but do they face any punishment, the players?
Yeah. I asked a similar question to somebody at Tennessee. What I was told that any wins are vacated, and that's going to be announced later, would have come or will come from the years that Jeremy Pruitt was there and not the last 2 years under Josh Heupel, because as you might imagine, and you know what question I'm going to refer to here. I had several frantic friends of mine, Vols fans, want to know, is there any chance the Alabama win next last year would get vacated? The answer is no, that those wins that were vacated would come to the 3 years when Jeremy Pruitt was there. as for the players, some players, most of the players, were gone. Some players that were involved paid restitution, did what they needed to do, and regained their eligibility. So that would be probably the best way that I would answer that.
Vacating wins is it's funny too, because like a lot of times wins get vacated that you don't even remember or know about. And like, so if you go look, like doing what we do, we constantly look at, season by season for football teams and things like that. And then you'll find like, oh, Alabama vacated a win against Tennessee in whatever year. And you're like, well, I still saw them win. You know what I mean? Like,
well, it's like the Louisville National Championship in basketball. They had to take the banner down several years ago when Pitino was there. Well, that whole fan base, the kids on that team and the staff, they know they won the national championship. Everybody that watched the game knows they won the national championship. I agree, Brian. I think it's probably one of the most hollow punishments out there that the NCAA hands down. I don't think anybody really cares. Again, if you have to take down a banner, and I don't mean to sound I don't want to be too sarcastic here, but in the 3 years that Pruitt was there, how many big games did they really win?
That's what I was going to say. No, you spot on, Lowe. That's exactly right. I'd rather them take the losses. They might take more than that. That's way more than the wins.
So if they have to vacate some of those wins, it's not like, you won the SEC championship or you be out in Florida or Alabama or Georgia, those big, the games that matter to Tennessee. So that, again, not even looking at it from Tennessee's perspective, I'm right there with you, Brent. Vacating wins and records too. Any records that might have been set by an individual player who was ineligible would be blotted out or canceled. But all in all, as I sort of look back on it and started working on it this morning, when I heard early that Tennessee was going to avoid a postseason ban, I'm not surprised. I think Tennessee has felt this way for some time. They knew they were going to have to pay a hefty fine. But I think when they left Cincinnati in April, the Committee on Infractions hearings, I think they felt good about those few days, about their case, the fact that Greg Sankey, don't underestimate Greg Sankey's presence there and the influence. And I'm not saying that he influenced the NCAA, but he is a powerful figure in the NCAA with a lot of clout. And clearly his counsel has been thinking, we're going to get some scholarship cuts. We're going to have to pay a ton of money. We're going to avoid a postseason ban, and that's where we are here today.
By the way, I think Donnie Tyndall still has 2 years left on his show cause.
You talk about just, again, that's what I mean. You can't compare NCAA cases.
Nope.
You go back and look at what this school or this coach got versus what another school, another coach got. It never adds up. Never. And then sometimes you think they got, you go back to the North Carolina academic fraud case, and they got zilch, nada. So I've learned over the years, people say, well, this is, somebody called me, and I wondered myself after the Will Wade got, a 2-year show cause?
Yeah.
And I thought, and I had several people ask me this, well, is that good for Jeremy Pruitt? And I thought, that's a good question. Well, there again, you can't compare the two cases. He got a 2-year, Jeremy got a 6-year.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, the whole Will Wade thing is ridiculous. And then Kansas Kansas just like, screw y'all. We're just going to keep going.
We straight.
We're good.
I'll screw the quote up, but Jerry Tuckman had the best quote about the NCAA. He said, the NCAA is so mad and so peeved and so down on, I forget the school.
It was like Wright State or something.
Or somebody. He said, they're going to go slam Cleveland State, give them a 10-year probation.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it. Yeah.
We're gonna get somebody.
And it's hard to argue that. Look at Oklahoma State basketball last year.
Yep.
I mean, they were mortified that they got a postseason ban. They felt like, we're past this. It's not going to happen. That happened a long time ago, much like Tennessee. There weren't guys that were involved, and they get a postseason ban. So, I don't know. Again, I think if you want to, and I know there's a lot of differing opinions on this, and I'm not saying mine's right. I'm just saying, in talking to people on all sides of this, had Tennessee not done what they did, had they not jumped on this early when Donnie Plowman got that tip, I think we'd be sitting here right now Tennessee looking at a multi-year postseason ban.
Chris, good stuff, man. Great work on this, as always, and we always appreciate your time, and hope you have a great weekend.
Yep, I always look forward to jumping on with you guys. Take care.
Chris Lowe from ESPN, great work. Go check it out, ESPN.com. He and Pete Thamel all over this. We'll be right back. 3HL, presented by Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, 104.5 The Zone. Man, Slade Dog, I was trying to get all hyped up for the weekend.
Yeah.
Smiley comes in with, a great song, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, not for the weekend. We made it to the weekend. This is what we've been waiting on. Yeah, turn it. Car ain't got no roof. That's right. That's what we're looking for. Man, the car ain't got no roof. We're going car ain't got no roof. Whose car ain't got no roof last night?
I know this. You need to come out and hang out and smoke a cigar or two at some point.
Yeah, we're going to make it. Oh, me?
Yeah.
Come out.
Hang out, smoke a cigar or two.
Yeah,
at
no,
some point.
I am. Don't you worry. I
Now I kind of want to go bowling again.
That was fun, wasn't it?
It was fun.
Yeah, man. And see, anytime we get a guy like RJ to take care of us, and guess what? See, next time I'm going to get chauffeur to it. You know how?
How?
Because RJ and his pops got a nice little chauffeuring business. They're going to get me involved.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, man. I'm going to make sure I'm in that thing, man. So, yeah. I'll give them more next time. But, yeah, man, shout out to them, man. They always come through and hold it down. I forgot his name.
Yeah, I did not have a car at that event.
What's it? Who is?
I did not have a car.
No,
at
didn't
that
he
event.
one? Reginald Hobson, senior, and junior. My bad. There you go. Y'all reach out to him, man. Holla at him. I'm gonna holla at him because I'm gonna need him. I might use him Saturday. I'm probably gonna use him Saturday. Yeah.
So you're gonna hit it hard again tonight?
No, it's Saturday. I made it light tonight.
Light tonight.
Yeah, I'm just going through the layup line on this one tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't got to play. I got maintenance.
Maintenance day. It's a maintenance day.
Yep. I'll be ready for game day tomorrow, baby.
And then another maintenance day on Sunday.
Yes, sir. Get
And
ready
then we
for
got a
long
busy
week.
freaking week, man. SEC Media Days
Yep.
coming at you live from Nashville.
It's gonna be fun, man. A lot of people I can't wait. I want to talk to Sam Pittman. Like I know a lot of people want to hear from
He's
Kirby.
great,
and
dude.
Pittman's always good. And I'm
You
talking
put
about
him in the
stuff away
boom
from
boom room,
football.
and he had all kinds of answers for you.
That's what the boom boom room is about. I don't know what that was. Boom boom room. The boom boom room was about.
Indigestion.
Yeah, it just came on up. I know what to solve it though. Some lemon pepper Cajun wings, some strikeout.
Is that what you're doing?
That's most definitely what I'm doing. I got to find some vegetables somewhere.
Vandy Chris 24 on YouTube. Yeah, vegetables are good. You're right.
Throw that in there.
I said that, not
Vegetables
Vandy
are
Chris.
good.
Vandy Chris says Tennessee now has the largest ever settlement in Title IX and now the largest NCAA fine in history. Where are those badges?
Yeah, badges of honors. We did it. we held it down.
Jerry Pruitt, man.
They knew what to do.
6 years, though. That's when you start thinking about Will Wade only getting 2.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I mean, that's getting caught red-handed.
On
then
FBI wiretaps.
Like what? Like that's amazing. And then that same red-handed he got caught with, he smacked him with it. Like, and then, what y'all talking about?
Yeah, I'm still coaching.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna stop. And he told them people after the game, I will not sit out a game and I will get my salary that's supposed to be paid to me. That was the perfect moment for the NCAA to say, hey man, who are you talking to?
Yeah.
Who you talking to?
Will Wade's from here, too. That's the funny thing.
Hey, with Tennessee, he ain't playing. He ain't bashful. He from Nashville. Right here. Yeah.
Adam in the borough,
Yo.
I know, had a good time at the bowling event last night. Adam, what's up?
Yeah, man, I had a great time last night, man. That was a great event for a great cause. It was great getting to hang out with all you guys. Good getting to talk to you, Brent. And I was going to try to talk to Slade, but he was surrounded by people all night, so I knew that wasn't going to happen.
There were a million people around Slade at all times.
Man, the party Slade really brings the party.
And then Darren, so we had like our little video crew, and then Darren Bates was in the lane next to us, former Titan linebacker, great guy too, and he had his video crew.
Yeah,
there was a lot going on in lanes 5 and 6.
It was.
Man, it was a hell of a party last night. But I'll tell you, my teammates Scoob and Gator Mike and Colin, man, we all had a great time. So I can't wait to do this again with you guys, man. Y'all really bring the party, and I really appreciate it. And I had a great time last night, like I said, and we'll do it again.
Are y'all like us, taking a maintenance day today?
Man, I can't even do a full day of work today, man. I'm still recovering.
That's when it's been a good time had right there. That's what
Hey,
I'm talking
man,
about.
I'm glad you could make it. Thanks
Hell
for helping
yeah.
support Home Street Home, and we'll do it again.
Most definitely, baby.
All right, y'all have a good one.
Appreciate it, Adam. Yeah, man. Everybody ought to be getting that maintenance day in, man. Especially if you ain't. See, the funny thing is, it was supposed to go from 7 to 9. The after party might have been some of the coldest party of it. First of all, that don't even make sense, what I just said. What I'm trying to say is the after party was even more fun. How about that? I had a lot more fun then.
Well, they
too.
let
I
us
didn't think
bowl
it
way past 9.
Yeah.
Is one thing.
I think we all lost track of time.
Yeah, my phone died. I lost track of everything.
You know when I know I'm at my Fridays? When I go find a microphone. If it's music being played.
I saw you a couple of different times looking for a microphone.
Yeah, well, that's when I really want people to hear what I got to say.
It's really the only time I didn't see you either at the lane or at the bar.
Yeah, those my two destinations.
You were wandering around.
Yeah, I got detoured. Because I heard somebody else say something. I think it might have been Buck or somebody. Then I remember him and Steven greeting everybody at the start. And I was like, I'm fried. This seems like a proper time for me to go up there and grab the mic and say something. And I went up there. And I saw Coach Mack coming towards me. And I thought he was going to join in. But I guess when I started to take my shirt off and I asked Buck, would he also take his shirt off? I think Coach Mack, it kicked in the coach in him to be like, let me save this party. And he politely cut my mic off. Then I cut my mic back on Coach Mack. Then he cut it off again. He took my mic. The party was over.
Coach Mack's the kind of guy that saves you from you. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes. Yes, he did. Yes, Vanny Chris. You are correct.
JT used to produce the show. Just texted us, said Don's ass couldn't even make it to work today. She had taken the day off a while ago because she's got a function that she's trying to, so she needed that time. So we knew.
Yes. Boy, the competitive fight, man, first of all, we always talk about how competitive we are. I think that's the first opportunity we've had when we all are playing something or competing in something. The bowling.
Yeah.
Like usually golf, Babs ain't coming like that. Me and you out there, and we really just
out there.
We really just out there. This time we was all
sometimes
serious,
we don't even get out of the cart.
The competitiveness that we saw from Babsy, it was fire coming through them eyes, boy. I loved it. Loved every bit of it. Baby Babs made an appearance. She had a duck and a Sylvester the cat and something else.
They were like bath toys or something. Yeah. She kept trying to hand them to her mom after she bowled because Dawn wasn't doing well. She was trying to make her feel better.
Here you go. Take this. This will cheer you up. Get out of that gutter.
Yeah. Baby Babs needs a new name because she's not Baby Babs anymore.
Yeah, she's about to be gone from Baby Babs.
And she is the cutest thing ever. And she loves me now.
Yes, she do. She told you to come sit by her.
Yeah.
She told you to go pay your bill. Baby Babs was looking for Brent? Uncle Brent?
I love it. So it was fun. Hey, when you get a chance, go to homestreethometn.org.
Yeah.
Stephen Young and his crew trying to get people off the streets of Nashville. And they do incredible work, and they could use your help. And you can sign up. The easiest way is to go on their Instagram page and then sign up to do like a monthly thing. And you can get that done. I mean, whatever you can help with, $10 a month. Or, everybody's situation is different. But that goes a long way.
One thing that helps, everybody helps when helping.
Monday edition of 3HL. All the shows on the Zone will be broadcasting live from SEC Media Day.
We'll be live and direct, baby.
We'll be talking college football, training camps coming up. We have officially turned toward football.
Football has arrived.
How exciting is that?
Oh, it's arrived. And it does mean more.
3HL presented by Spring Hill Heating and Cooling. Appreciate y'all being with us. Appreciate all the participation. Love y'all. Good night. God bless.
See ya.
3HL After Party brought to you by Awaken 180.